Justin FREAKIN, the formidable voice of the culture.
Hey Justin, are you trolling?
This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Monday. Usually I got something I'm upset about that I'm ranting about at the beginning. I don't have anything tonight. Ida, good evening. RB, I hope you're feeling better. I know you've been under the weather. Warlord, no, Alito is not first. Top stories are first tonight. You also want to give a shout out to someone who is not able to watch the live stream, but does indeed deserve a shout out and listens to us later. Dance, Dustin, Dance. Congratulations on your kid. Saw the pictures from the gender reveal. I'm not a kid person, but if you're happy, I'm happy for you. Alito is sad. Now we're going to get a follow-up tonight on the story out of North Carolina where thousands of residents are still without power. As of a couple hours ago, I did not check in before we came on, but as of like 4 or 5 o'clock this evening, thousands of residents in Moore County, North Carolina, still without power. The sheriff, who I gave props to last night, said he seemed genuine. That sheriff says that the right-wing activist lady that posted threats about the drag show couldn't have done it because his deputies prayed with her. We're going to go to Columbus where we've got video of... I've seen conflicting reports whether it was the Proud Boys or it was Patriot Prayer. It was one of those fascist fucking groups trying to intimidate a drag show. It's happening all over the country. Incredibly sad story out of Texas where a little girl was murdered by a FedEx driver. I watched the local news hit after we got off stream last night, and it brought me to tears. Police chief in Florida has resigned after getting pulled over in another county and asking for favoritism. Cop in Buffalo has been fired after a racist rant. I believe we got video of that one. The roommates who survived the attack in Idaho are now speaking out. It looks like the cops really bungled the response to the quintuple murder. No, that's 5. Quadruple murder. That's 4. Quad, 4. Quadruple murder. Quadruple stabbing. We're going to check in with the Senate race in Georgia. We are in the final hours. Raphael Warnock has a pretty sound lead over Herschel Walker going into tomorrow's election. ACAB all day, every day. Hold on. I got something to show you guys. I posted this the other day. It cracked me the fuck up. Only like one person laughed at it, but it cracked me the fuck up. The sheriff's office in Florida, the Lee County Sheriff's Office, I'm constantly bitching about this sheriff down here. Squid, good evening. He's a showboat. But I saw this posted, and I had to share it out and say that ACAB means David Cross, too. Big fan of his work, loved Arrested Development. Mr. Show, huge fan. But my God, David, ACAB means you too, motherfucker. Oh, shit. You can't tell me it doesn't look just fucking like him. Got a full honors discharge, though, so he ain't a cop no more. Love me some David Cross, though. Here's your meme of the day. Cross is based as fuck. Cross would never be a cop. Mox, good evening. Wait, did I tell you good evening? I don't even fucking know. If not, good evening, my friend. So glad to have you here. A new Hunter Biden huge hog pic goes on the web. So last night I was really, I don't know how many times we made comments about Hunter Biden's huge schlong. I love everything about this thumbnail. Hunter's schlong hanging out over here. Where my camera is. Got James Woods. I got Matt Taibbi holding Elon Musk. That wasn't the only piece of content I was able to make out of that with the Hunter schlong. I did not see an uncensored one. I did indeed Google Hunter Biden's dick last night, but all of them were censored. If you look right there, it definitely looks like it's fucking huge. What's up, Tadpole? Yeah, I just saw the title. I didn't even have the stream up because I was getting ready to pop online, and I saw the title. I was like, "Yes, you're a fucking racist." In non-smokers chat, because I'm a troll. It's what I do. I pop in and start shit.
Hey Justin, are you trolling?
We had a disagreement a while back. You can go, and we had a very productive conversation. That Almanera report, he and I, we had a pretty... If you want a confrontation, go back and watch the clip of Almanera report and I. But if you want to watch a pretty productive discussion, Non-Smoker and I had one. On the same topics. RB. Oh, RB. I'm so glad that you're getting better. Holy shit. I did have some trolling I've been doing online today. There's this libertarian dude, and I was trying to explain to them that you only have two options. Because he was like, billionaires are not responsible for your life being bad or some shit. I'm like, well, yeah, they are actually. And here's the thing: is you have two options. Either the Fed prints money to keep when the rich people hoard too much of the wealth, the Fed has to print money to keep the economy going, which devalues our currency. Or you can tax the rich in order to recirculate that money. But just allowing people to pull wealth from the economy and thinking that's not going to have a detrimental effect is going to fuck shit up, I promise you. And trying to explain this to these dumb motherfuckers was like banging my head against the wall. And this dude accused me of not understanding the difference between wealth and money supply, but money supply would be a indication of wealth in a country. And their argument kept being that, well, the government can print unlimited money, which is fucking true, but that devalues the currency. So if wealth is infinite, then the government should be able to print money without consequence. But that's not what happens. It devalues the currency, which means wealth is finite. This is not a fucking hard concept. But here's what it comes down to. It's so difficult to see you're just a blame the rich left-winger in a desperate attempt to explain and justify a ridiculous talking point. Merkin, good evening. My response was, I blame the rich because it's literally their fault. Who do you think fucking runs everything? Virtually everyone in the country agrees we are going in the wrong direction. It's almost like rich people bought themselves a Congress, run all the companies, and then create propaganda to get poor people to blame woke leftists or some shit for the literal society the rich created. Well, it is a free-floating currency, but that's a little too nuanced for them. I'm trying to explain this in as basic a terms as possible. Mock's always trying to come in here and add the nuance, which I appreciate. I love that about you, my friend. I ain't high enough for this shit. Well, they would never advocate for the government to print money in order to feed and house everyone. They would say that's going to cause inflation. So this Lars for president. Some libertarian dude that's running for the libertarian nomination for president. That's the side I was on. He said it's corrupt politicians. That's who's to blame. And I said, I wonder how they got corrupted. What was it that corrupted them exactly? How does a politician become corrupt? Weird that you blame politicians. Who is it that is funding these political campaigns? It's a free falling currency. Free falling. Justin needs another dance with Mary Jane over here. Come at me, bro, because I won't back down. As this show, we're going to be going into the great wide open. Billionaires are running down a dream. I don't think I can go any further. I'd have to start thinking really hard on some Tom Petty songs. That joke fell flat. I'm sorry. What's not going to fall flat is our content for tonight. What are we going to be talking about? Goblin mode. Somehow the word of the year is goblin mode. 2 words. And it's a phrase I'd never fucking heard until today. Goblin mode. In a court case, lawyers for Governor Ron DeSantis had to define woke. And it's about goddamn time. And I'm very interested in the position that DeSantis' lawyers took. Heard Warlord allude to earlier. We have audio of Justice Alito. What's he talking about? Kids in KKK robes. Black kids in KKK robes. So this should be interesting. I believe the audio came from the oral arguments over a gay web designer. And we're going to get the details of this case. And I have a 10-minute interview with this woman. She was on TBN, one of those religious networks. Whatever the fuck it's called. And it was a long-form interview about, her feelings on this case. Former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, has feelings on the future of the speakership. We're going to hear from Kevin McCarthy, and then we're going to hear from Newt Gingrich. That video of Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was in a Christmas parade over the weekend. Didn't receive a very warm welcome. Herschel Walker has some comments for Barack Obama. Also doesn't appear to know exactly what office he is running for. Seems to imply that he thinks he is running for a seat in Congress as opposed to running to be a senator. Again, it's probably not good of us to make fun of somebody with head injuries and clear mental issues. However, he is running for Senate. Herschel, you are running to be one of the 2 senators from the state of Georgia. We have 50 states. Each state has 2 senators for a total of 100. You are running to be one of those 100. I know I have not heard goblin mode. I have no idea what goblin mode even means, so I'm going to be in for a surprise when we get to it. I thought the word of the year was gaslighting. I thought I saw that the word of the year was gaslighting, to which somebody responded, no, it's not. Which isn't actually gaslighting, but... certainly didn't seem to mind when John Fetterman was having issues. All that... Oh. Tonight's animal video, very special. I'm going to show you a dog that killed 8 coyotes. Dog. This is the true dog, the bounty hunter. Took on a pack of coyotes. A fucking hero. He was protecting the neighborhood. Such a good boy. We're gonna hear all about that. All that and more tonight on the Troll Patrol live. Plus, you know, I've got the phone lines open, 917-830-4359. The Discord wide open. I should go post this in the political shit show or whatever. Oh, it looks like on Thursday we're going to have Goldie Hoffman. That was the comedian that did the parody of the Dave Chappelle bit. She's actually going to come on and tell us what she meant by that. We'll have to watch it again. That was the one where she took the she took the bit verbatim from Saturday Night Live. It was Dave Chappelle's monologue, where Dave was making jokes about Kanye and Jewish. This was before Kanye got on and started talking about how much he loved Hitler. But like one of Dave Chappelle's jokes was, you know, like you go to LA and you look around, there's a whole lot of Jewish people, a whole lot of black people in Ferguson, but that doesn't mean that they run everything, which is a funny joke. Miss Hoffman did that joke. It was like, there's a lot of people in Idaho, or there's a lot of white people in Idaho, but that doesn't mean that they run everything, which isn't funny because there being a lot of black people in Ferguson is true. They are the dominant demographic, but they don't run everything. That's true in Ferguson. In Idaho, there are a lot of white people there, but they also run everything. Do you see how those two things aren't comparable? Oh, but it should be a this should be a fun conversation. So be prepared for that. We'll have Goldie on Thursday. Yes, technically it is part of Congress, but when people say Congress, they are referring to the House of Representatives. Congressman refers to somebody who serves in the House of Representatives. Exactly. Senators are very uppity about that title. Very uppity. All right, let's go over to North Carolina, where a sheriff says he is ruling out a right-wing activist as a suspect in the power outage after praying with her. Let me see if I have her post real fast here. I think I do. I think I saved it last night. Yes, this was her post. This is Emily Grace. This was one of her several posts about the power outages. One of them was her saying, I know why the power is out. And then she posted this. This is the drag show that we covered, and then she said, God will not be mocked. They've apparently ruled her out as a suspect. A right-wing activist was investigated over a cryptic social media post claiming to know about the cause of a mass power outage in central North Carolina. Emily Grace Rainey, a former U.S. Army psychological operations officer, posted about the outages that left nearly 40,000 customers without power, but Moore County Sheriff Ronnie Fields told WRAL TV that he prayed with her and determined her claims were not, the claims were not credible.
This is a familiar sight for families. Caution tape wrapped around playground equipment to show it's off limits.
Well, I don't think that's. Oh, this is the one. Oh, she was quoted in this story. That's why we're talking about her. Okay, hold on. Let's get the whole story here. A woman who vehemently and repeatedly protested a drag show scheduled in Southern Pines claims that deputies questioned her in regards to the mass power outages in the county after she posted on social media that she knew why the outage happened. For the show, Rainey posted on Facebook the contact information of the sponsors, imploring others to voice their opinions, saying, "You know what to do." Rainey claims to be the head of the Moore County Citizens for Freedom. The group is a nonpartisan network of Moore County citizens dedicated to the promotion of conservative values. You people don't know what fucking words mean. Right-wingers are morons. Moore County Sheriff Ronnie Fields told WRAL News that the outage was being investigated as a criminal occurrence, but he did not say specifically what was done to damage the substations, whether the sheriff's office has connected that vandalism to the drag show or any suspects. Rainey posted that she told deputies, "God works in mysterious ways. I used the opportunity to tell them about the immoral drag show. The blasphemies screamed by its supporters." After the power went out, Rainey posted a picture of the marquee where the drag show was scheduled to take place, claiming that God was chastising Moore County. During Sunday's press conference, Sheriff Fields said that Rainey's posts were false, and while they did speak with her, they determined her social posts were to not be credible. Fields also reiterated the importance of not making false posts during times of emergency. Duke Energy showed almost 40,000 customers without power Sunday morning when outdoor temperatures dipped to 40 degrees. Still out as of this afternoon. They had a county supervisors meeting or a city council meeting where they discussed the power outage. The state of emergency is still in effect in Moore County. At the beginning of the COVID-19 lockdowns, I'm sure she's going to be an anti-masker, anti-vaxxer, anti-lockdown personality. Rainey made news for taking down yellow tape around swings and slides at a closed playground in Southern Pines so her children could play. Police charged her with injury to personal property. Rainey was investigated by the Army in 2021 for leading a group of people from North Carolina to January 6th because, of course, she resigned her commission as an officer in the United States Army in October of 2021 after being in hot water for her political activity. So this is her speaking on the lockdowns.
Site for This is a familiar sight for families. Caution tape wrapped around playground equipment to show
Where'd it go?
Limits and closed because of coronavirus. A Southern Pines mother pulled the tape so her child could play, and now she's facing charges for damage to property. This is a familiar sight for families. She spoke with WRAL's Adam Owens about the situation to show what she plans limits and closed because of coronavirus.
At the downtown
a Southern Pines mother pulled the tape.
Well, I was going to play that for you. The sheriff said, yes, we had to go and interview this young lady and have a word of prayer with her, but it turned out to be nothing. What is... This is a reporter asking the cop the question.
Individual that put some information on Facebook that was false. We did, and I urge the citizens, please don't put false information out there. That takes time for us to run that down. And yes, we had to go and interview this young lady and have a word of prayer with her. And but it turned out to be nothing. So,
doubt.
We, good law enforcement.
Look at the smirk on his fucking face. The question was, how do you know it turned out to be false? And he said, good law enforcement. Now, I praised this dude last night and said that he seemed to be sincere. I absolutely take that back. Look at this fuck. ACAB certainly means him too. Fuck off, dude. This is just part of the rash of violence occurring in this fucking country. Sorry, I got a little. It was like fucking Ryan Grimm messaged me. What did Ryan Grimm message me for? Like, I've really made it if Ryan Grimm has messaged me. No, it's just spam. He's wanting me to go like his Substack. Which is cool. Me telling Matt Walsh I'm incredibly proud of the thumbnail I made for this video, and I really wanted him to see it. Doesn't look like he has seen my message yet, unfortunately.
Justin FREAKIN, the formidable voice in the culture.
You gotta admit, he looks kind of hot as a zaddy, though, right? I hate to say that about Matt fucking Walsh. This has been his rhetoric, among many, many others, that has caused the LGBT community to have to fear going out in public. Is what has helped inspire fucking fascists like this. Proud Boys march in combat gear despite church's holy drag event getting canceled for safety. Organizers said police did nothing to protect those participating in the event from the hate group, because of course they didn't. A holiday drag queen story hour event for kids was canceled in Ohio after over 50 right-wing demonstrators, including members of the white nationalist hate group Proud Boys, created a potentially volatile and dangerous situation. Photos of protesters dressed head to toe in combat gear, carrying massive weapons, showed up anyway and made the neighborhood look like a war zone. So these are some of the pictures. Caused the event to be canceled. This is terrorism. Where's the DOJ? This is a clear violation of civil rights by neo-Nazi organizations. Look at these little fucks. You gotta have that big ass gun, because, dude, I could take you. Look at you. You're scrawny. Every single one of you. I bet you're the biggest cowards walking the face of the fucking earth. That's why you need your big guns. The Holy Drag Storytime event was supposed to take place this past weekend at the K-5 Red Oak Community School within the First Unitarian Church of Columbus. The organizers canceled after they decided the police would not sufficiently protect them from the threats of these right-wing protesters. Days before the cancellation, Equality Ohio even advised people not to show up to counter-protest out of fear of violence erupting. We strongly urge all LGBTQ plus community members and allies not to show up and counter-protest. The safety of the children, families, performers, and our community are of paramount importance. Our actions must be in service to their protection. They're wanting to force us back into the fucking closet. Fuck no. Speaking through tears on an empty stage amongst holiday decorations, including a rainbow Christmas tree, the school manager Cheryl Ryan, explained how the decision not to host the story hour came about. I think we've got video of this.
All right. Good morning. I wanted to take a minute to make a statement. This statement is mostly for grown-ups, FYI. Unfortunately, I don't have a song and dance number for you this morning. Right. Good morning.
Oh.
Technical difficulties.
I was about to say, I thought I had it playing somewhere else.
I wanted to take a moment. I'm just going to read this statement because otherwise I'll be distracted. I wanted to take a moment to speak to everyone who purchased tickets to our event and to everyone who put so much time and effort into making this event happen. I stand here in this space where our school's parents and members of the church have so beautifully decorated last night. We borrowed trees, some of them from our kids' bedrooms. They let us borrow them. We built a photo booth, we have festive lighting, and we put together a stage ready for our performers. Their books were chosen, the holiday dance numbers were choreographed, and our students spent all week baking and making decorations, which you might be able to see some of. It turned out perfect,
Wholesome.
Better than we had imagined. And I'm here on this empty stage because in the end, there was a disagreement about how this community should be best protected. There is a long documented and lived history of law enforcement doing harm to the LGBTQ community, among others, that continues to this day.
ACAB.
Ignoring, defaming, abusing, and killing LGBTQ plus persons, most especially those who are Black and trans. As even a cursory Google search will illustrate, it is no secret that extreme right-wing groups, including the Proud Boys, enjoy a cozy relationship with law enforcement. When the Proud Boys stated they would show up to intimidate and harass and bully our attendees and organizers, we had to make a decision about how we were going to keep everyone safe. I spent a week calling our police department and leaving voicemails about the reports we had seen. After a week, I was told we could hire a special duty officer who may or may not show up because they're understaffed. I was given an email address. In the meantime, a trusted community defense team with years of experience reached out with an offer to execute a thorough safety plan, including before and after event safety support, tech support, emergency plans, and a large on-site presence, all on a volunteer basis. They are members of the LGBTQ community who have a personal stake in ensuring this community's general safety. They gathered almost 200 people ready to create a perimeter shield and a barrier far from our building to keep things de-escalated outside. We took them up on their offer. Local media ran articles without calling me to ask for comment, yet insinuating that we were working with the police, who assured us journalists were aware and monitoring. Assured journalists that they were aware and monitoring the situation. In reality, the police had offered nothing and were not in touch with us. A community liaison had returned a phone call, and he told me he'd be out of the office next week, so if that's a problem, I don't know what to do about that. The City Council made a statement in which they offered reassurances that they were in touch with the police, who were monitoring the situation and will work to ensure the event can occur peacefully. We were never contacted by the City Council regarding their statement, and still had no word from CPD. Yet I received hundreds of emails, calls, and messages from I'll get through it. From folks in the community asking, how can I help? What can I do? I'm ready to show up. I never heard this message from the city's leadership and those whose job it is to protect us. In the end, our performers felt unsafe without a police presence, while our safety team felt unsafe with a police presence. We decided it was not safe to proceed, and our Red Oak Planning Group made the call to cancel. While we felt strongly that the police's casual, distant acknowledgement of our event illustrated that they would not keep us safe, we also have to validate that our performers didn't feel safe unless there was law enforcement in the building. So it turns out our biggest problem wasn't the Proud Boys after all. I implore this community's leaders to consider how this could have gone differently, how they could have participated differently, how they could have supported us differently. How will they do better for the next drag story time when the Proud Boys threaten to show up again, which they will? How will our leadership work to create an environment where all members of our community feel safe? Those who might say, but you have to work with the police, are invalidating the lived experience of all who have had harm done to them by law enforcement and don't feel safe with them. They are not standing on principle. To dismiss those who feel unsafe with the police is to turn a blind eye to the systemic issues of safety within this community. We have to do better. The world is getting more and more unsafe for the LGBTQ community. The attacks are constant and getting worse. The fact that we are not able to successfully host this simple event shows the extent of the damage. We have to do better. Everyone all over the country who purchased tickets in solidarity, thank you so much. We felt your support. We sold almost 1,000 tickets to a children's storytime event after all. We raised over $5,000 for a local LGBTQ+ charity. We had more than 200 people attending this event in person, despite being scared. We're scared, but we're strong, and we will not go away or make ourselves smaller because someone bullied us. Please keep hosting these events in your communities. Keep marching, call your legislators. If you are a cis-het white ally, use your privilege and step up. Show up for this and other marginalized communities. Don't allow your advocacy to exist on social media platforms alone. Do the work. Thank you to the hundreds of people who have put so much of your time and resources into this event. You were willing to show up and do the work. Even though we weren't able to make this happen at the last minute, the outpouring of support in the face of extremists means something. Please continue to show up. Thank you for joining me this morning. Please hit up a drag show tonight and tip your queens. Thank you.
I don't have anything to add to that. So the security force that they contacted to protect them in the absence of police said they wouldn't feel safe with police present. This is probably a socialist gun club or something. And I understand why they wouldn't feel safe with the police there. Apparently, some of the performers didn't feel safe without the police there. Hayes, I don't know that they were covering. He said the right-wing activist that was posting about the incident wasn't involved because the deputies prayed with her. It's pretty fucking sick. So that was the explanation for why they canceled the event. I believe we have video of the Patriot Front. Now they knew that the drag event had already been canceled at this point, but they still wanted to march through the neighborhood and fucking LARP as fucking Warriors for Christ or whatever the fuck they think they are.
Hi. Doing? How you doing? Good. I know who you are. Know who you are?
That is not how you greet a Nazi.
So take care. There's only a small amount of idiots out there, so. Take care.
Onward to victory.
Onward to victory.
This scares the fucking shit out of me.
Hi. How you doing? How you doing? Good. I know who you are. Know who you are?
Are you a member of the community? You're just going up and welcoming the Nazis that are marching through your fucking streets?
So take care.
Seriously?
Small amount of idiots out there, so.
There's more of them. You can hear another group of them chanting.
Take care.
Onward to victory.
Onward to victory.
Well, at least they're wearing masks, right? I have seen the threats multiply exponentially. It has gotten worse over just the last couple of months. And you know what? The fucking election. They have been amplifying since the election. Widge, you're exactly right. They only wore masks to protect the departments that they work at. And that is exactly why the people that were providing or were going to provide security to the show didn't feel safe with the cops involved. I was really hopeful that the prosecutions of the Proud Boys, Patriot Prayer, I was hoping that their involvement in January 6th and subsequent prosecutions of the leaders would end up with the groups disintegrating, but it doesn't look like that's gonna be a thing. But they don't have to have actual leaders anymore. They're getting their marching orders from fucking YouTubers, The Daily Wire and TP USA, Stephen fucking Crowder. Meatcakes, good evening. I know exactly why people in that community would not feel safe with the cops involved, and it's for shit like this. Trial for Texas officer who killed black woman hinges on gun.
We understand that it is December.
Also, apparently Christy Alley just died. Bad. I was always, I thought Christy Alley was, I had a crush on her when I was a kid. She turned into a hard right-wing nut job. But still sad to see her die of cancer. Trump took my food stamps. Thank you for being a freaking follower. How did Trump take your food stamps? Was she a Scientologist? That would explain it. I didn't know she was a Scientologist. How did Trump take your food stamps? Like I'm wondering what that even means. He's with Xenu now. Don't they drop the soul into a volcano or some shit like that, and then it comes out like, is she gonna be a Thetan or some shit now? Is that how it works? Fucking Wrath-a-Con was awesome. That was one of the, I went on a big kick of watching movies that were re-released in 4K when I got my 4K TV, and Wrath-a-Con was one of the ones I watched, and it was excellent. I'm still just, Trump took my food stamps. Did you sign up for some kind of Steve Bannon scam to try to pay for the wall or something, and you gave them your food stamps? Is that what it was? and you got scammed. You didn't even get a fucking wall out of the food stamps. Oh goddamn! I was watching a YouTube video about the shit show. Arrested Development was a shit show. And they were talking about the time between season 4 and season 5 because one of the in the 2012 release, one of the ideas that Lucille Bluth has is to build a wall on the border with Mexico because she was tired of the Cinco de Mayo celebrations. So you get to season 5 and Trump is suggesting a thing that Lucille Bluth had suggested in the TV show, and she's like, that was my idea. I don't even know what got me on that. Anyway. Lucy. No, not Lucille Ball. And I need to watch that movie. The Lucy movie that came out probably about a year ago now. I've heard it's a hot mess. Greetings, Lenny. I'm still trying to figure out how Trump stole this dude's food stamps. This fucking name is tripping me out.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Abso-fucking-lutely. The last story we just did was about the Proud Boys harassing a drag show in Columbus, Ohio. The organizers of the event had consulted with a group that had offered to provide security, and they didn't feel comfortable having the cops involved. Some of the performers didn't feel comfortable without the cops involved. But I'm going to have to side with the group that was apparently doing the security assessment for the organizers for reasons like the stories I'm getting ready to show you right now. Trial for a Texas officer who killed a black woman hinges on gun. The 11-year-old nephew of a black woman fatally shot by a white Texas police officer says his aunt had a gun but didn't raise it to point at the officer. Atisha Jefferson was holding a gun but never raised it to point it at the white police officer who fatally shot her through a rear window of her Texas home. So, Second Amendment advocates, this is a woman holding a gun in her own home, and a cop shot her through a window. Black woman's 11-year-old nephew testified at the officer's murder trial on Monday. Defense attorneys contended that the child said otherwise immediately after the shooting. Child's testimony touched on an issue at the heart of the long-delayed case charging Aaron Dean with Jefferson's killing, whether the Fort Worth officer saw Jefferson's gun before he shot her. Even if he saw her gun, she has a right to be armed. This is fucking Texas we are talking about here. Not only does she have a right to be armed in public, because I do believe Texas is an open carry state. Not only does she have a right to be armed in public, she was in her own goddamn house. If the cop didn't have a warrant, she would be 100% within her rights to shoot the cop. Just throwing that out there. The child's testimony touched on an issue at the heart of the long-delayed case charging Aaron Dean with Jefferson's killing, whether the Fort Worth officer saw Jefferson's gun before he shot her. Dean quit and was charged with murder 2 days after the killing of the 28-year-old while responding to a call about an open front door. So there was no killer on the loose. There was no evidence of any kind of danger. He had a call for an open door. Body camera footage showed that neither Dean nor the other responding officer identified themselves as police at the house. Dean's attorney, Miles Brissett, said the officer opened fire after seeing the silhouette of Jefferson with a gun in the window and a green laser sight pointed at him. Prosecutors told the jurors that the evidence would show otherwise. That night, Jefferson was playing video games with her nephew, Zion Carr, who told the court Monday that his aunt pulled out a gun after hearing suspicious noises behind the house. 100% her right. Zion, then 8, said the gun was only ever pointed down, but he acknowledged not remembering parts of what happened. She just held it next to her side. She didn't point it up. She just kept it next to her. In her own home, she had a right to point it wherever the fuck she wants. Apparently, the child said she had pulled the gun up a little bit previously on cross-examination in the overflowing courtroom. Dean's defense said Zion told a specialized interviewer in a recorded session after the shooting that Jefferson had raised the gun. The child denied this. In 2019, the case was unusual for the relative speed with which, amid public outrage, the Fort Worth Police Department released the video and arrested Dean. Since then, it has been repeatedly postponed amid lawyerly wrangling, the terminal illness of Dean's lead attorney, and the COVID-19 pandemic. By contrast, former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin went on trial and was convicted of murdering George Floyd more than 1.5 years ago. Dean, who has pleaded not guilty, has been free on a $200,000 bond. Murder, and you got released on a $200,000 bond? That's weird, because I'm getting ready to play you guys a story where a dude has $1.5 million bond right down the road from this. We've got a story coming up here in just a few minutes where a man charged with murder has a $2.5 million bond. He wasn't a cop. Body cam video showed Dean approaching the door. Let's fucking get that body cam video, shall we? Hold on 1 second here. We gonna watch it, because I don't remember watching it before, but 2019, I wouldn't have been doing the Troll Patrol yet. Well, technically I would be in dry runs. So there's only 2 minutes. It's only fucking 2 minutes. I'm going to hit the content warning. Dry runs sound like an awful bowel condition. Indeed. So. Now, I think I stumbled across some old video because I always was really sad that I didn't have any of the... We officially launched on April 20th, 2020. That's the official start date of the Troll Patrol. But I had done several test runs with it. I'll say test runs. And I actually didn't have any video of one of them. I think I found the very first one. It's from like 2017. So when we come up on the anniversary show, we'll do that. Content warning, we're going to watch this body cam video. It happened on October 12th, 2019. So open structure, that's all there's, an open door. Cop showed up for an open door. was about to say, this is one of those things where the audio might kick in a few seconds after the recording. I hate to tell you, sir, but if you go doing that in anyone's fucking backyard, it's a wonder you don't get shot. You need to identify yourself as a cop. Perhaps you should have a vehicle with lights flashing in the driveway to alert people to your presence. If you go creeping around somebody's backyard, you should probably be shot. Just saying. We have what's called the castle doctrine in this country. I'm going to also point out this is like 7:32 in the evening. Called to the house for an open fucking door. I think when we started, he was at the open door.
Huh?
They're whispering in the back door. Yeah, it did look like there was a screen door or a glass door or something. They're in this fucking woman's backyard.
Put your hands up! Show me your hands!
I still, like, even if we take what the cop says at face value, oh, she had a gun. Yeah. Yeah. Muscleopsy, good evening, my friend. How are you? So glad to see you. My God, go back to the beginning here. So I think this is the open door, which, yes, there's a screen door. There is a screen door. That's what they got a call about. Somebody's house had an open door. Now, this is 7:30 in the evening. Does it look like the cops have short sleeves on? Could be a very nice evening. It's a good reason to have a fucking door open. And one fucking neighbor called and was like, hey, we're gonna need the cops here. We got somebody with an open door. Everything about this is bullshit. As if she didn't have the right to carry a fucking gun in her house or to point it at somebody who is creeping around her back door or her backyard.
Huh?
This is real over an open door, Kikyo. It's insane. She not only had a right to have that gun, she had a right to use it on you creeping in her backyard for no fucking reason. ACAB motherfuckers.
Put your hands up! Show me your hands!
He hadn't even finished saying the line, put your hands up, show me your hands, before he fired his fucking gun. And I don't know, like, this is where the weapon was located. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you found a weapon. It doesn't fucking matter. That's her right. It's called the Second Amendment. Where are all the right-wing assholes that claim to be for pro-gun ownership, pro-Second Amendment? Where are you at? Why are you not outraged? I'm sorry, Twitch people. I missed the commercial break, but I think most of you have gift subs thanks to Tones now, so we're just gonna keep going. I don't need to pee. I don't need to get a drink. I came out last night during the commercial break, and Curious was like, "I'm in the bathroom," because she left the door cracked for the kitties. And I'm like, "It's okay. I was just coming to get a drink. I didn't need to pee." And she's like, "What are you, 5?" I didn't need to pee. But if I did need to pee-pee, you know where I'd want to pee-pee? Right in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. Give me that eye pussy. We needed a moment of levity after that. A police chief, no, let's do this one first. A Buffalo cop has been fired after a racist rant. Wonder why people wouldn't be on the side of the cops, huh? In Buffalo.
A lawsuit filed overnight accuses Buffalo Police Captain Amber Beyer of making racist comments this past May in the office of the behavioral health team, which Beyer leads. 2 police officers and an employee under Beyer's command filed a federal lawsuit against Beyer, the city of Buffalo, and the police department. They claim Beyer told them that black officers cheat on their wives more often than white officers, that she'd be suspicious if she saw a black.
I would say that black officers cheat on their wives at just the same rate as white officers, and I'd say black officers beat their wives at the same rate that white officers do, which is about 40%.
Black man in her neighborhood, and that white officers suffer post-traumatic stress disorder from working high-crime neighborhoods like Buffalo's East Side, but black officers do not, because they are more accustomed than whites to violence and criminality. The plaintiffs are seeking $15 million in damages and are represented by attorney Nate McMurray.
They're alleging that the captain used racist language, taunted them with racist language, threatened them.
I don't know if they deserve $15 million. The town definitely deserves to be rid of a racist ass police.
And was unapologetic.
The officers reported Beyer's comments to the department's Internal Affairs Division, which opened an investigation. The lawsuit says Beyer called those who complained liars and gossips. She said she'd done nothing wrong and that the Internal Affairs investigation would go nowhere. One day in September, she allegedly read aloud to her team a Facebook post that made use of a racist epithet, a word Beyer emphasized each time she came to it. One plaintiff, a mental health worker, said she left the room in tears.
She said, "This is enough. I can't work in this environment," and she resigned.
The 2 officers who sued are on leave. Captain Beyer remains on active duty. McMurray told Investigative Post the damages are justified by the potential harm to the officers' careers for even bringing the claim, including loss of salary, pension, and benefits.
It's not often that officers have to bring these claims because they have a lot to lose.
I mean, I'm glad they brought the case because it exposed her.
The newly formed behavioral health team 2 years ago. The unit seeks to de-escalate volatile encounters between police and people in mental health crisis and connect those people with the help they need.
Now, perhaps they deserve a couple $100,000.
Internal Affairs.
Sure, I can go with that.
Investigate.
Donate the rest of that money to an organization. This seems to be kind of old. November 22nd. Yeah, I think I grabbed the wrong thing because it had that. It had the local news hit. Let me give you the update because I do believe she has been fired because that's the reason I put this on here. I am almost certain. She has been suspended. So not fired. Buffalo Police captain accused in lawsuit of racist remarks has been suspended without pay as of today. Nope, this was as of Friday. Dustin, I wouldn't doubt it. Projection. Projection is a hell of a drug. A police chief in Florida has resigned following body camera footage showing her trying to get favoritism from another police organization. This was her being pulled over in a traffic stop. Wait, she was in a golf cart?
Good evening.
They're going to the bank in a golf cart. So, it was a stop involving her golf cart driven by her husband. Why is a cop pulling over a golf cart? I'm interested to hear this one.
How you doing?
Good. I'm Deputy Jacoby, the Sheriff's Office. Stopped you because you driving tag or unregistered vehicle with no tag on it on the roadway.
Yeah, we went to the club. It was closed, so we went over and picked up some.
Is your camera on?
It is.
I'm the police chief in Tampa.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay.
Or good evening.
You'll just let us go tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll say now that you say you look familiar, so.
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Okay. So, all right, folks. Well, have a good night. Staying over here in East Lake Woodlands?
Yeah, we live in East Lake Woodlands.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, it's nice to meet you. So, I'm Deputy Jacoby.
Okay. Same here, my friend.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
All right,
Sorry
take care.
to bother you.
All right, no worries. No worries. Like I say, we have a lot of problem with the golf carting around here. You know, everybody gets out.
We don't normally come out.
We
but
never
the club
come
was
out.
closed,
We
so we saw we went
never.
up to the Greek place to get some food.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. All right, then we'll take care. And it was nice meeting you.
All right.
Oh, all right.
I have so many questions. Well, is it illegal to just... if they were on the main road, I could understand. If you're just fucking riding a golf cart on the main road. If you're on like some kind of little side access road or something, you're driving around in a golf cart. Oh, watch the end. Watch the end.
You ever need anything, call me.
Okay.
Serious.
All right. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, a little quid pro quo.
Thank you for yours.
Thank you.
So, take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night, folks.
Well, let me translate that for you, in case you guys didn't pick up on it. She was saying, if you're ever pulled over by one of my officers, just let me know. Wink, 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 wink. This is the press conference.
I'm surprised it took you that long to get to that question. And I hadn't decided whether I was going to answer that question or not, but I'll answer. You know, Deputy Larry Jacoby did absolutely nothing wrong. I stand by him 110%. The person who did wrong was Mary O'Connor.
Wait. Shouldn't, even knowing that she was a cop, shouldn't he have enforced the law that she was supposed to? Did this Jacoby guy, did he actually pull them over for breaking a law? Because if so, he did do something wrong because he didn't enforce the law.
As consequences, the Mayor's Act, Tampa's handling that, that's their business. Larry Jacoby did nothing wrong. He did his job, and while she asked for a favor, he didn't give her a favor. He handled that as he would have handled any other like situation, any other like traffic stop. You know, people think...
No, he did not. No, he did. I have seen cops in Florida arrest a man just for walking down the road. If she hadn't shown him her badge, I would assume he would have articulated a reason for pulling them over, and he would have harassed them.
Think that just because you got stopped by the cops that you're going to get a ticket, and that is absolutely not the case. Is that we stop a lot of cars all the time.
Oh, I know.
In very few of those cases, very few of those situations, we give tickets, especially when it's something like this. Come on, think about this, what this is. It's a golf cart. They are about 100 yards from the entrance to their gated community. The only reason why they popped out was because the restaurant they were trying to go to within the gated community was closed, so they went across the street to get some food from a restaurant, and they're going back and they're 100 yards away. Who cares? It's not felony.
Oh, honey. You should see some of the things that I have seen people get arrested for. What the fuck are you smoking? If it is illegal to have a golf cart on a roadway, then that officer should have enforced the law, especially against a woman. Now, if you want to show leeway against an actual citizen, I'm totally cool with that, but an officer that is sworn to uphold the law should be held to a higher standard.
No tag on a golf cart. It's no tag on a golf cart. So the outcome wouldn't have been any different if she had just kept her mouth shut. Is that unless it was aggravating circumstances or extenuating circumstances, that's a warning all day long.
Yeah, his employee cared.
Rhetoric, I hear the people running their mouths and all this, is that if she was not a cop and she hadn't asked, that she would have got a ticket. No, she wouldn't.
If she was not a cop, she might have got shot.
It doesn't mean anything other than what she did is unethical, it's wrong, it's all of those things. And she's paying the consequence for that. She shouldn't have said it, she shouldn't have done it, none of that should have happened. But to say that Deputy Jacoby
exactly RB
is absolutely untrue. And so,
or a native couple.
I ask these questions. So
a Spanish couple
is that in 2020, in the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, we conducted 81,000.
Yeah, we make that joke a lot, Warlord, about them being white and they don't get shot, but that's actually not true. The cops shoot more white people than they do black people, and by a lot, too. The thing is when you do the averages, the cops shoot a higher percentage of black people than their representation in the population. Now, I always use it because an idiot-ass right-winger will fire back, no, the cops shoot more white people, and that's true. And that's another reason why you should be fucking worried about the cops. Exactly, shootings per capita, and once you normalize the data, you realize that, oh, they shoot way more black people. That's where the racism comes in. But I am a firm believer that the cops shouldn't be fucking shooting anybody. I think a cop's job is to die if necessary to bring a suspect in alive. That's my reading of the Constitution. I don't think they should be allowed to shoot somebody because they feared for their life and they want to go home. They're supposed to be able to put their lives on the line.
162 traffic stops. 81,862 traffic stops. We issued citations 12,597 times. That's not even 20%. In 2021, 86,146 traffic stops. Citations, 15,003.
You know what that sounds like to me? Is that you're fucking harassing the population, asshole. 86,000 traffic stops? Less than 20% of them were for anything fucking wrong. And I would love to know how much of that 20% is just absolute bullshit. Broken headlight. Shit like that. Fuck off. Alright, this is a heartbreaking story. We did the Texas officer that shot the woman in her house a few minutes ago. That cop had, what was the bond? 200 grand was what his bond was set at. He was out on a 200 grand bond. Just a few miles down the road from where that cop got a 200 grand bond for a charge of murder, Another man got a $1.5 million bond for a charge of murder. Weird. Justice system doesn't show favoritism to cops. I will say this is a fucking horrific story, though. A FedEx driver in Texas kidnapped a young girl and then murdered her, and it seems like it was incredibly senseless.
Right now at noon, a little girl who police say was abducted and killed by a FedEx driver is being remembered today.
In fact, residents in Texas are being encouraged to wear pink in her honor today. Local 10's Andrea Martinez is in the newsroom with more on this just terrible situation.
It is terrible, Christy, Janice. Just an awful tragedy. Athena was reported missing Wednesday, and authorities launched a search for her countywide. This is local.
I absolutely hate this setup. That's their fucking newsroom. You're seeing the producers right behind her. Those are the editing bays right there, where editors are back there putting together packages. The news director's office is probably right fucking there. And they've got this I'm sorry. We're doing this story about a young girl. It's tragic. It looks like a kiosk at the mall. Yeah. And here I am. The broadcaster in me is just tearing apart their odd fucking set.
Located just northwest of Fort Worth, authorities say she was kidnapped from her family's driveway, which is about 200 yards from her home. A former FedEx delivery driver behind bars after investigators say he confessed to abducting and killing a 7-year-old girl in Texas. The mother of young Athena Strand speaking out on Facebook, saying in part, "I cannot describe the pain and absolute anger I feel. My princess was taken from me by a sick, cruel monster for absolutely no reason."
Pray for these folks so that they might be relieved of some of the pain.
Prayer isn't gonna do fucking shit, you asshole. God damn. Pray for these folks. Fuck you.
Capital murder and aggravated kidnapping charges. He is currently held on a $1.5 million bond. Police say Horner abducted the first grader about 40 minutes northwest of Fort Worth. He reportedly saw Athena when she came home after school on Wednesday afternoon. Her stepmother called 911 to report her missing at 6:40 p.m. FedEx says Horner and every other contract worker is subject to the same mandated background check as any full-time employee. Horner had no prior criminal history. Investigators say digital evidence, some of which FedEx turned over to them, led them to conclude Athena likely died within an hour of her abduction.
It hurts our hearts to know that child died.
Today, Texans were seen wearing Athena's favorite color, pink. And a candlelight vigil is scheduled for tomorrow night at the local church. FedEx has also expressed its sympathy, saying in a statement they are in shock and they are fully cooperating with this investigation. For now, live in the newsroom, Andrea Martinez, Local 10 News.
The rest of the show is a lot better. Not as heavy. Good evening, Tones. You came in at a somber moment. Yeah, this first hour and a half has been a real kick in the balls, and not a good kick in the balls. Not a good kick in the balls.
He's kicking authority in the balls.
Had not heard that one, Tones. Got one more. I'm sorry. I said the rest of the show. I got one more. And then we'll move on to the fun shit. We'll get to the politics. We'll make jokey jokes. We'll make fun of Herschel Walker. We'll make fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mock Sam Alito. It's all going to be fun. We just got to get through one more story. And then I'm going to find out what a fucking goblin mode is. Fun. First, we're going to go back to a story that we've been following all along. It's been about 3 weeks since the quadruple stabbing in Idaho. Police have apparently really botched the investigation. Now, I believe two roommates survived, and they are now speaking out.
Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were truly all one of a kind.
No leads yet, and the families are getting upset. Okay, unfortunately, I was about to say, unfortunately, it looks like he wrote it, but here he is. This might have been in their celebration of life or whatever. This is one of the roommates speaking out.
To Xana and Ethan, the two best friends but perfect pair together. They had this unstoppable, loving relationship. You all were gifts to this world in your own special way, and it just won't be the same without you.
These have no suspect, weapon, or motive. They're still saying this is a targeted attack.
It didn't appear that there was any forced entry into the home. There were 2 survivors, and then as well, the actual crime scenes themselves really lead detective.
And the parents of one of the girls has said that there's discrepancies in the killings, that some of them were killed differently.
And the chief to firmly and continue to believe that this was targeted.
Lack of arrest is fueling frustration among some of the victims' families.
Not an immediate circle by any means, but a few of the names that have been circulating around, I think it's hard not to kind of, dig into this. And I don't know how much of that is just because we have so little information from law enforcement.
Once again, just speculation that the cops have dropped the ball, but I mean, when the fuck don't the cops drop the ball, right? Apparently, it was over a week before they were out there measuring tire tracks in the driveway that a whistleblower with the investigation is saying that they have compromised evidence. So, I also heard other people say this is a small police department in a little college town. I mean, you can't cut these fucking cops slack. This is their fucking job. Sassy, good evening. Yeah, something is up. I've been fascinated by this story since it happened. I don't usually do the department isn't equipped to handle that, but the FBI is there. I mean, that's what the feds are for. Yeah, I don't usually do the sensational stories that are kind of, don't really have a public policy issue, but sometimes I just have a more morbid curiosity and I want to watch the stories, and I do it with you guys here, and this is one of those stories, as well as the young girl that we just covered. Because often when we're doing criminal justice stories, we're talking about public policy, we're talking about bringing justice to cops, we're talking about fucking holding the cop that killed a woman in her own home accountable. Even if we take his story at face value, goddamn, I got myself pissed off about that again. We take his story at face value, he is still 100% in the wrong and murdered that woman because that woman had every right to possess a gun in her home. And the kid says she didn't point it at the cop, but given the facts of the matter and the body cam footage that we watched, I would say she wouldn't have been in the wrong if she did point it at the cop. I would say she wouldn't have been in the wrong if she pointed it at the cop and pulled the trigger. because the cop was fucking around in her backyard and never announced themselves. She had no indication that they were not an intruder. They were a fucking intruder. He was trespassing on her fucking property. Some of those who work forces are the same that burn crosses. Judge Samuel Alito thinks some of those that are burning crosses and wearing the white robes are actually some black children. Yeah, you heard me right.
Justice Jackson's example of the Santa in the mall who doesn't want his picture taken with black children. So if there's a black Santa at the other end of the mall and he doesn't want to have his picture taken with a child who's dressed up in a Ku Klux Klan outfit, that black Santa has to do that?
No, because Ku Klux Klan outfits are not protected characteristics under public accommodation laws.
And presumably that would be the same Ku Klux Klan outfit, regardless whether if the child was black or white or any other characteristic.
Yeah, you do see a lot of black children in Ku Klux Klan outfits, right? All the time. Suppose that Justice Jackson.
Leave the jokey jokes to comedians, sir. That was not fucking funny. Because you see black children walking around in Ku Klux Klan outfits. I would assume that some of the people were laughing were just so like flabbergasted by the absurdity of the comment. This is part of the oral argument for 303 Creative LLC versus Alenus. This is a case currently being heard from the Supreme Court about a graphic designer didn't want to make some kind of a program for a gay event.
Today, the Supreme Court heard arguments about LGBTQ and
Alito.
rights.
A Colorado website designer says working on same-sex weddings conflicts with her religious beliefs. Nicole D'Antonio explains what's next in the debate over freedom of speech.
The Supreme Court took up another case pitting free speech against gay rights. At issue, whether artists and designers can be forced to state things at odds with their personal beliefs.
The state forces Ms. Smith to create speech, not simply sell it.
Colorado state law bars businesses from discriminating based on race,
Yeah.
gender, sexual
Yeah.
orientation,
Yeah.
religion, and other grounds.
The company just cannot refuse to serve gay couples, as it seeks to do here, just as the Christmas store cannot announce no Jews allowed.
Yeah.
The case is a preemptive strike from Colorado graphic designer Lori Smith, who hasn't yet launched a wedding website business.
I know that the freedom...
Whoa! She doesn't even have a business that does this yet. How in the world does she have standing then?
I'm standing for is not just for me.
Her attorney argued that Smith is an artist and, unlike other vendors, is protected by free speech.
The person providing the chairs isn't providing speech.
Several justices engaged in hypotheticals.
How about people who don't believe in interracial marriage? Or about people who don't believe that disabled people should get married?
Suppose someone offers the service of writing customized wedding vows. Can they be forced to write vows or speeches that espouse things they loathe?
The now conservative majority court has
They
been
loathe?
claims of religious freedom, but the panel in 2018 made a plea for civility that future cases like these would have to be resolved with tolerance on both sides. That warning came with a narrow ruling in favor of a Colorado baker who refused to make wedding cakes for same-sex couples.
Because the biblical teaching on marriage is pretty clear.
The justices in that case refrained from deciding on the larger First Amendment issue. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
I actually have an interview that the woman did with a religious television station. I'm trying to find it here. I save a lot of fucking stories. I do. I kind of want to hear what her argument is. I did not know the part about her not even having a business yet. This is a preemptive lawsuit. He doesn't even have a business yet. But she's suing to make sure that she doesn't have to write anything for no gay people. My God, the world that we live in right now. Seriously, I'm like not even back like a day's worth of saved stories here. I might have saved that video forever. Might have been 2 or 3 days ago. I'm sorry. I really wanted to play that. I really need to do the story of the big neck dude that got arrested again. I think we'll do that on the Freak Show. Found that story. Maybe I didn't save it to Facebook. Maybe I saved it to one of the other social media sites. Goddamn. Lord Locke, good evening, my friend. Sorry, I was gonna let you hear 10 minutes of the woman that doesn't even run a wedding graphic design business yet, talking about how she's being discriminated against because she hates gay people. Or maybe I spared you from it, I don't know. Maybe I saved it because I'm on my artist page a lot. I bet I saved it to my artist page. I bet I do have it right here. Hold on. Christians condemn Festival of Yule. Alligator found inside 18-foot Burmese python. I don't think I do have it saved. Pastor Story Hour. Ministers take Bible-based picture books to local libraries. Well, do you know what? Nobody gives a shit if you do that. Totally. Go read to children. It's sad that it took you being bigoted towards drag queens for you to go and volunteer at a library to read to children, you asshole. Sorry I can't give you the interview with the woman. Well, let's do it. Let's do the Christians condemning Yule. I might have had that saved for the Freak Show. Let's do it. We'll do it right now. Ah, fuck. I don't know how to use Facebook, apparently. Let me put the hat on the troll logo. Since we're gonna do a Christmas story here. I'll unveil my Christmas graphics here soon. You don't get them just yet. Rich leftist elite Jack White of the White Stripes has left Twitter in a huff. Some of the headlines I have over here, boy. This happened in Tuscumbia, Alabama. You may recognize the name Tuscumbia. That is where the University of Alabama is actually located. Christians have condemned the Festival of Yule at a Tuscumbia, Alabama city council meeting. We have a video of this one. Please give us a video. Yes.
Pastor in the area, I just cannot stand by any longer and see some of these things that are going on in our county. My celebration during this time of the year is for the Lord Jesus Christ. As we celebrate His birthday, we have really...
And? Is anybody fucking stopping you from doing that, dude? Anybody fucking stopping you from doing that? So you're upset that, you know, there's a Yule celebration, which, by the way, that's the holiday that predates the festival celebrating Christ. You guys ripped it off.
See some of these things that are going on in our county.
Disposable thumb.
My celebration during this time of the year is for the Lord Jesus Christ. As we celebrate His birthday.
Buddy, it's not even his birthday. Scholars will tell you that he was more than likely born in the springtime. Not even his birthday. Do you even know why it's December 25th, motherfucker? Because that was already the celebration of the solstice. Christians fucking horned in on a celebration that was already going on to make it more palatable to people. This is literally the history. Do you know the history of why you celebrate the goddamn fucking holiday? Ah, Core, good evening.
We have really gone too long and not stood up as Christians about things like this. Let me quote this for Only Sky.
Buddy, I don't know what you're talking about because you fucks never shut the fuck up. You never shut the fuck up about this shit. It's always some kind of stupid nonsense coming at you goddamn mouth.
Is a journal magazine is dedicated to protecting America's secular democracy through reality-based journalism, storytelling, and commentary.
Good. Sounds like I need to go give him a donation.
I hope Gilchrist.
Yeah, I bet this motherfucker doesn't even live in sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
God damn.
Is right that the backlash won't go anywhere after Monday's meeting. City officials need to recognize that complaints from Christians aren't good enough reason to ignore their own laws. I'm here to tell you we are good enough to stand up for Jesus. And I'm going to do that.
I was thinking that same thing, Borg.
What Herman Mehta said in The Only Sky. He said the founder of friendlyatheism.com is involved, a YouTube creator, podcast co-host, and author of multiple books about atheism. That you can look up every bit of this.
It is demonic, it is satanic, and you are opening up this city for possession and oppression that you have never known.
The problem is that not all beliefs are equal. Not all
well, we found out what J.D. Vance is doing since he lost his election in Ohio.
all ideologies are equal. There are some who are false, and there is only one that is true, and that's Christ.
Fuck all the way off. Yeah, the one that just happens to be true is the one that you believe in. I wonder what the odds are of that. hundreds, thousands of religions, but the one you happen to believe in, the one that you happen to be born into, that's the true one. Oh no, that's James Lindsay. Oh goddamn! Yes, Vance lost. And tomorrow at this time, I have a feeling you guys will be celebrating with me a Herschel Walker loss. What's that? A Herschel Walker loss? Indeed. Check in with the Senator Raphael Warnock Herschel Walker race going on in Georgia. The election takes place tomorrow. The Republican hopes have faded as Warnock momentum picks up in Georgia. I am almost certain this time tomorrow night we will be talking about a solid Raphael Warnock win. Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker barnstormed Georgia in a final plea for votes amid signs of growing momentum for the Democratic incumbent and fading GOP hopes ahead of Tuesday's runoff. Both parties are expecting a close outcome on Tuesday in the closely divided state after a November election that defied expectations in countless races around the country. A Walker victory is not out of the question, but from Warnock's first-place finish in the first round of voting to scattered polling and temperature checks of Democratic and GOP operatives, Warnock heads into Election Day as at least a slight favorite to win a full 6-year term. I think a lot of Republicans are hoping we'll be pleasantly surprised, but there aren't a lot of indications out there to base that on. This is according to Jason Shepard, the former chair of the Cobb County GOP. Just a lot of hope and faith in things unseen. It's a Christmas season after all. Yes, let's celebrate Yule. Over the weekend, Warnock had the heavier schedule of the two. On Saturday and Sunday, he sprinted to 6 events in various cities, while also delivering a sermon at Ebenezer Baptist Church, where he serves as senior pastor, and told parishioners that voting is a form of prayer. Disagree with you there, Senator. We had an incredibly early vote period, but don't spike the football before you get to the end zone. Warnock told voters at the New Freedom Christian Center, a predominantly black church in East Athens, on Sunday night. Here is one of Herschel Walker's final campaign stops.
Thank you guys for coming. I first got to acknowledge my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But one of the things I want to...
Well, apparently that's the only true facts in the world is that Jesus is real or some shit.
Says, we wanted to talk about get out and vote. We got to get out and vote. Tomorrow is a big day. So who all has voted already? Oh, and who all's got to vote tomorrow? So let me take this right. All of you who has already voted call 10 of your friends to go vote, or you can pick up your friends to go vote. And all you that got to vote tomorrow, carry someone with you that hadn't voted to vote.
Carry someone.
Or go with somebody that has voted to vote, and y'all know who to vote for.
Yeah, his name is Senator Warnock. What image are you talking about, Tones? Walker appeared at 2 events, a tailgate in Atlanta before a University of Georgia football game on Saturday, where he did not speak, and a Sunday rally in Loganville, where his stump speech touched on everything from complaints about pronouns and critical race theory to funding law enforcement. In a brief interview with Politico on Saturday, Walker seemed to mistake which chamber of Congress he was running for, and also appeared to think the outcome of his race would determine control of the Senate. They're not less motivated because they know right now that the House will be even, so they don't want to understand what is happening right now, he said of voters. You get the House, you get the committees, you get all the committees even. They just stall things within there. So if we keep a check on Joe Biden, we just gonna keep a check on him. We just gonna keep a check on him. we just gonna keep a check on him. This was Obama campaigning for Warnock. This might be the sound we played the other day.
And that's because we did.
Yes, we can.
You get a buy one, get one free deal on elections this year. But I'm here today for the same reason that I was here the last time. To ask you to vote one more time for my friend.
Oh, I did say oh, fuck. J.D. Vance did not lose. J.D. Vance is indeed a senator-elect from Ohio. I'm so sorry. I am so fucking sorry. And then that whole joke just falls apart. My apologies. So now it was a bad joke. I got your hopes up saying J.D. Vance lost. Tim Ryan would have been a much better senator from Ohio. My apologies.
And your outstanding senator, Raphael Warnock.
But here's the thing is apparently Herschel Walker is no longer really focused on the Senate race. It really feels like Herschel Walker is focused on some kind of a feud with Obama. Because that wasn't the clip we played the other day where Obama basically did like a roast to Herschel Walker, which was hilarious. Herschel Walker, though, got butthurt about it. He went on with Maria Bartiromo yesterday on Fox News, and now we've apparently got a new feud. Now, thanks Obama, you cracking jokey jokes at Donald Trump is the reason that motherfucker went on to become president. Now Obama is cracking jokey jokes at Herschel Walker. This dude's gonna fucking... He's gonna end up being fucking Secretary of the UN or something. Fuck.
Well, what's sad is they always trying to mislead people. That's the same as you listening to the former president, Barack Obama, I'm talking about vampires and werewolves. You're 100% correct, but why don't they tell the whole story? The whole story is that story involves people having faith that...
Buddy, we played the whole thing, and we laughed and laughed and laughed. I assure you... Okay, we're going to have to start a poll in the chat. Who would you guys rather fuck? Is it Barack Obama or is it Hunter Biden? Fuck it. Who would you rather fuck? Obama or Hunter Biden? Somebody's going to be out there and be like, why not both?
Well, what's sad is they always trying
Professor
to mislead
Q.
people. That's the same as you listening to the former president, Barack Obama, I'm talking about vampires and werewolves. You're 100% correct, but why don't they tell the whole story? The whole story is that story involves people having faith.
Are you a felon, Sassy?
To go out and do your job, having faith.
I'm so sorry.
So they don't
You're
tell
not
you
a
the whole
felon.
story. With the whole story. Well, what's sad is they always trying to mislead people. That's the same as you listening to the former president, Barack.
As the chat is split between who would fuck who, it looks like. Some of you would fuck Obama, some of you would fuck Hunter Biden. I was playing with you, Sassy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Oh, people used to take Maria Bartiromo seriously? What? It's okay that you're not gay, RB. You can still want to fuck one of them. Tell the whole story. Stop misleading my views on werewolves. That was a story about faith. Buddy, that was a story about you being up at like 1 or 2 in the morning and watching a fucking movie on late night TV. Hey, Hunter Biden's rich. He's got some of that painting money. Been selling those fucking paintings. According to the right wing, he's rolling in it. Made all kinds of deals with the Chinese, the Ukrainians. But maybe he spent it all on crack. Who knows? Maybe that's how he lost all the money.
That was on crack.
Right. Well,
I wouldn't fuck Ryan Reynolds. He's not my type. I don't know. Let me see him dressed up in drag or something. Then maybe he is. I could see him looking hot as a twink. I wouldn't have thought I would have found Wesley Snipes attractive either. But like, Tu Wong Fu? Thanks for the memories, Julie Newman, or whatever the fuck that movie's called. Wesley Snipes looking hot. Tones doesn't like to associate anger with love. Or some people are singing the Seether song, "Fuck man like you hate me." Oh God, why is Trish Stratus trending? Didn't die, did she? Well, no. I guess people are just talking about Trish Stratus. I saw Keith Richards trending the other day. I was like, fuck, it finally happened. Nope, no it didn't. Julie Newmar? Did I fuck it up? I had never even heard of the movie. Sparkles had me watch it, last summer or some shit? As long as we're talking about Georgia politicians. Wait, the editor that named that book just threw darts at a board filled with words. Are you being serious? Like, I would assume there's some story behind it, right? Or it could just be like the manatees making Family Guy jokes. South Park. They're just the different balls go into the thing and then they make a sentence. That's a South Park joke. Oh, it is Julie Newmar. I don't even know who Julie Newmar is. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Marjorie Taylor Greene participated in a parade. In what place in Georgia was this? Oh, it doesn't even say. I'm sorry. The story that I got it from said where she was at, but I just grabbed the video. Notice how the people watching her don't really seem too enthused by her. Like one or two people only wave back, and apparently if you listen real closely, you can hear people booing her. A kid waved at her. Never went down to Georgia. She was waving at some kids. Okay, there she got a couple of people waving at her. But all in all, someone yelled out, "I hate you." Probably. I couldn't really pick up on anything, but I wouldn't doubt that people were telling her to fuck off and telling her that they hate her. I didn't hear any of that though. Also, I don't hear very well. Miss the ads on Twitch again, but as I said, I think most of you are subbed thanks to Tones, because Tones is fucking awesome. So I'm pretty sure all of you on Twitch are seeing me right now anyway, so fuck a commercial break. Let's keep doing the fucking news, shall we? That was Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was getting ready to be in the majority for her first time in Congress. There is some talk that she might be in the running to be Speaker of the House once they take over the majority. However, my money would still be on Kevin McCarthy. Man, Maria had all the fucking interviews this weekend, didn't she? Kevin McCarthy, who was on with Maria Bartiromo, talking about his bid for the speakership in the upcoming session of Congress, which begins on January 3rd.
What else are you planning, and what have you told the Freedom Caucus? Are you making any changes? Are you doing anything to placate anybody who's...
She said the Freedom Cock. Hey,
you live in sexual anarchy?
Kevin McCarthy, what are you doing with the Freedom Cock?
Planning, and what have you told the Freedom Caucus? Are you making any changes? Are you doing anything to placate?
I didn't just hear that. She literally said it. She said, what have you told the Freedom Cock?
What else are you planning, and what have you told the Freedom Caucus? Are you making any changes? Are you doing anything to placate anybody who's actually trying...
Okay, she might have said the S really fast where it kind of sounds like she said Cox.
What else are you planning, and what have you told the Freedom Caucus? Are you making any changes? Are you doing anything to placate anybody who's actually...
We do a serious news show.
Hey, Justin, are you trolling?
The Freedom Caucus. I had a lady I stayed with after college. I helped her caulk her floor, and she thought it was hilarious that I don't know if I do it on purpose or not at this point in time. But she was like, it's caulk. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Caulk. I'll caulk your floor.
Making any changes? Are you doing anything to placate anybody who's actually trying to push against you as the Speaker?
Look, I think everybody is respected in the House, regardless of where you are. We got to remember, we're going to sit at 222.
I am not shaming the Freedom Cock. We don't kink shame around here. If you have a kink for the Freedom Cock, totally on board with it. As long as it's consensual. Consensual kink with the Freedom Cock.
Are you planning, and what have you told the Freedom Caucus? Are you making any changes? Are you doing anything to placate anybody who's actually trying to push against you as the Speaker?
Look, I think everybody is respected in the House, regardless of where you are. We got to remember.
Oh no, Tones. I was just I missed the commercial break, and I was like, but I don't think there's anybody that's watching commercials right now anyway. So there's no reason for me to try to catch the commercial breaks. And I thank you so much. Thank you, Tones. Goddamn, you are so awesome. Fortunately, Lord Locke had to watch that commercial break. My apologies. His mind has a sentience of its own. I'm assuming... Fuck it. Damn, Tones. I love you. Merry Christmas.
We're going to sit at 222 members. So
somebody is trying to position themselves to get some Freedom Cock.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Giving out the Christmas presents. We will get through this bit about the Freedom Cock.
What else are you planning, and what have you told the Freedom Caucus? Are you making any changes? Are you doing anything
the testes?
Anybody who's actually trying to push
kicking
against
authority in the
you
balls.
as the Speaker?
Look, I think everybody is respected in the House, regardless of where you are. We got to remember, we're going to sit at 200.
I throw one out to Sassy Snigs too. Fucking Tones, I love you so much. Also, somebody tell me, because I'm not actually watching like Twitch, somebody be like, no, I paid for that one myself. Don't give Tones credit. Please let me Goddamn tones indeed. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I forgot what I was going to say. Sub the Restream bot. Sub the Restream bot.
Hold the Freedom Caucus. Are you making any changes? Are you doing anything to placate anybody who's actually trying to push against you as the speaker?
Look, I think everybody is respected in the House, regardless of where you are. We got to remember, we're going to sit at 200.
Sitting cow, good evening.
So any 5 members can hold us up for achieving. I respect all.
Oh yeah, I do not doubt one bit. I do not doubt one bit that Democrats will vote with Kevin McCarthy in order to... I can't blame them. Fucking tones, hell yeah. So, should the Freedom Cock put forward Marjorie Taylor Greene? I don't know that I wouldn't agree with the Democrats voting to make sure McCarthy wins. I don't know that I wouldn't, because they're all, it's going to be voted on as a House, right? As a whole. So the Democrats can absolutely vote for McCarthy. And that's one of the things, like them forcing the... But then again, with this tide of a race, and if all the Democrats were to be like, no, we stand behind Hakeem Jeffries, we're all going to vote for Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House, that forces the Freedom Cock to have to vote for McCarthy. There's some strategy here, so... Because if they hold the vote and all the Democrats vote for Jeffries, and 9 of the Freedom Cocks vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene, that denies Kevin McCarthy the speakership. So... if Clyburn is offering McCarthy something in order to get Democratic support, that's one thing. They hold the Freedom Cock. They hold the Freedom Cock.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Exactly. Oh, you can't win it on plurality. So you have to have over half the House? Well, that just means it goes to a second round then, right? I'm not exactly sure about the House rules, but they vote on it as a whole. The Freedom Cock is what the Tea Party... How is this face? That face isn't... Oh, this is the incoming supposed Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. There is some deliberation about whether the Freedom Cock will deny Kevin McCarthy the speakership, but he is almost certainly going to be the next Speaker of the House.
The rules made it more bottom-up in the process, so I'm not quite sure why people, maybe it's just personal at this basis, but what it's doing is harming. You know, President Trump just put a truth out, I think, last night. He's very concerned what's happening.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene is not even the nominee, it's Andy Biggs.
Then
Andy Biggs will be the Freedom Cock.
All of these people endorsed you as Speaker.
Oh, yes, and Jim Jordan as well.
There's, one...
We're not talking about Kanye tonight, no. We're going to Newt fucking Gingrich, unfortunately. He told...
With us today is former Speaker
John Katzimatidis on WABC Radio.
A historian, a politician, but by and large, one smart guy. And
Newt Gingrich is not a smart guy.
First of all, what's going on with Kevin McCarthy and the Speaker's race in Washington today?
Well, Kevin McCarthy has the same size majority that Nancy Pelosi had for the last 2 years. And, of course, with that majority, 222, she managed to pass trillions of dollars in spending and a whole bunch of radical left-wing bills. So you can get a lot done once you get to be Speaker. His challenge is that at 222, he can only afford to lose 4 people and still 218.
Oh, fuck it, I tried to pause the picture.
Speaker.
So, Disposable Thumb is glad it'll be Biggs's Freedom Cock. I was really hoping for Marjorie Taylor Greene's freedom cock, because I'm just saying, when I find out a woman has a cock, it makes her that much more attractive to me. I'm just throwing that out there.
Right now, 5 of them have tried to sort of hold him up and get him to agree to a variety of things. And virtually everybody in the conservative media has really told them that what they're doing is silly and destructive. And my guess is by January 3rd, when they have the actual vote, he'll have 218. He'll be Speaker. He's, I think, been pretty effective so far in laying out that he's going to create a special committee on China. He's going to create a whole series of steps that the Democrats are going to find pretty uncomfortable. And he's already pledged that the first bill they'll vote on will repeal the 87,000 IRS agents that the Democrats want to add. So I think he's got a pretty good case for being an effective conservative speaker.
That was just staffing for the next 10 years.
With the Democrats in the Senate and with Biden, feeling like he had a good election, which he did, and therefore he's not inclined to compromise on anything.
And as far as the Georgia's another question mark. 2 question marks.
They let this fuck on the radio, but they're not banging down my door to put me on the radio? What the fuck?
What's going to happen in Georgia? And there's still 2 open seats, I believe, in California in the House. What say you on both?
And then Gingrich is in the background going, wild.
Well, first of all, I think it is a disgrace and makes us look like we're a 4th world country. France votes all in one day.
Newt is literally a newt.
All in one day. California
you live in
takes 2 months.
sexual anarchy.
I mean, if you want to call cheating on your wife sexual anarchy, then Newt knows all about it.
It's nuts.
No, it's not Dan Bidandi. This is John Katzimatidis. It's weird that they pull out a right-wing radio host that I don't know about, because one of my clients does the right-wing radio circuit. So I have heard pretty much every right-wing radio host in the country and actually have audio of them on my computer.
Means you can't, and Arizona is similar. They're the 2 worst states about this, and I think it really undermines public belief in the honesty of their elections. I think in both of the seats in California, the Republican is ahead. It's hard for me to understand why it is taking this long, except that they deliberately slow.
It's a close race.
But in the end, I think we'll be fine with both of those. There's going to be a recount also in Colorado. The Republican congresswoman won, but she won with, I think, 643 votes. So they'll go through a recount, but she'll almost certainly win the recount. So, I think Kevin is going to be the Speaker. The Republicans will be in charge of the House. People generally agree with that. In Georgia,
yeah, the Republicans are going to be in charge of the House.
I'm very concerned because I'm not sure that the Republicans realize how important this race is. The difference between Walker winning and losing is if Walker wins, they're at 50-50, and that means that the Democrats have to have power sharing, where the Republicans have the same number of seats on every committee.
Walker ain't gonna win.
If Walker loses, that means that the Democrats will have a 51-49 majority, and that means they will have a...
Most AM talk stations are right-wing.
It's actually a pretty darn important race. It's up in the air, and I think the key will be if the governor goes all out, and he's been very good so far. He won a huge victory. He actually got 200,000 more votes than Herschel did. And if he goes all out and turning votes out between now and Tuesday, Herschel probably will win, but it's very, very close. And
seriously, Cor, I didn't know they were enemies.
Race.
Pat Buchanan dead now, isn't he?
Mr. Speaker, tell us what else you want to tell you. We got about a minute or 2 left. What do you want to tell the American people?
Look, I think people should be watching very carefully what's happening in China. I think people.
Pat Buchanan's still fucking alive. For some reason,
strategy has disrupted their lives.
For some reason, I totally thought Pat Buchanan died a few years ago. I thought I reported that news to you guys. That's a damn shame about Pat. Yes. Yes, indeed. I was briefly a Pat Buchanan fan. And let me tell you how that happened. In the year 2000, in the year 2000 during that election, I was probably 15. No, I would have been a little older than that. I would have been 16 or 17. But me and my buddy were very fond of prank calls. And that was how we spent a lot of our evenings, making prank calls to radio stations, calling fucking prayer lines and shit like that. And we called the Pat Buchanan campaign. And a guy answered the phone, and we were just fucking around with him. We were like, why should we vote for Pat Buchanan? He was like, Pat Buchanan has the balls to run this country. I was like, well, that's a great answer. 16-year-old me was very impressed by somebody telling me that Pat Buchanan has the balls to run this country. So that's why I was briefly a Pat Buchanan fan, because somebody working the phone lines for his campaign told me he had the balls to run this country. One of the first times that we started, technically he has balls, maybe, I don't know. One of the first phone calls that we made, I called this mortuary. And this is before we really got our groove about us. And we called this mortuary, and I went along with, like, you know, I've got this dead body at the hospital. I'm like telling the room number and everything. And my buddy cut me off, was like, that was just going way too dark, man. It wasn't funny. Oh my God, memories coming flooding back. So we end up on the phone with this lady one time, and she thought we were her grandson, or me, I guess, because I was the one that did all the talking. She thought I was her grandson Vernon, but she wasn't sure. And because, like, I didn't fucking know nothing about Vernon to go with. I'm like assuring her that I am indeed Vernon. And she's all like, Vernon, is that you, Vernon? But we became quite well known on the local call-in shows. There was like a Zoo Crew type afternoon radio show on one of the channels. And then one of the hosts actually did a show called Wrestle Talk, and they took calls. It was like this 4-hour block. Like, one show was like local basketball, another show was like a golf show, and it was like this whole block of call-in shows. The only one that was really popular was the wrestling show. So, like, we're like 15, 16 years old, and we're calling into these call-in shows, and on the wrestling one, we were always like, I'm Justin Chainsaw, and then he would be like, I'm Hardcore Jason. No. This was long before, like, YouTube was a thing. We're talking like this was maybe 2000, probably like 99. And we became really well known, but we kept calling and challenging the host to a steel cage match in the Velocity parking lot. But the wild thing is the dude that was the host was like the communications director for the local cell phone company. It was called Appalachian Wireless. And the radio station that I ended up working for years later when I'm doing the news, this is like 2007, they fucking, Appalachian Wireless advertised fucking every commercial break on our radio stations. And that dude was constantly up at our stations. And one morning, he was sitting in on the morning show. And I came in to do, like, you know, I think it was at the bottom of the hour at like 8:30, at like 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, I would come in and I would preview what I was going to be talking about on the news. And he was sitting in on the morning show one morning. When I came in and sat down, like, I'm just like, I'm going to fucking blow his mind. And I looked over at him and I went, I'm Justin Chainsaw. And fucking flipped him out. I'm like, well, doesn't that make perfect sense, though, that somebody that was obsessed with calling into radio shows and talk shows would go into broadcasting? Yes, Justin Chainsaw was what I was before I became Justin Freakin. And I took the chainsaw from Dazed and Confused. Or is it Fast Times at Ridgemont High? I think it's Fast Times at Ridgemont High. One of the characters named Chainsaw. That's where I got Chainsaw from. Don't tell Chainsaw our friend that. I don't think I've ever blown his mind with my name used to be Justin Chainsaw. I designed, like, I was, that was also my wrestling character and shit. I designed my tights. They look like Shawn Michaels tights, only with chainsaws instead of hearts. Oh, fuck. I've always wondered what right-wingers mean when they say woke. Justice Chainsaw. Just Incredible was my ICQ. Was it Summer School? Was that the name of the movie? Maybe. I don't know. It was one of those teenage school movies. It was one of those. Woke Potato. Woke Potato says to stay woke, motherfuckers.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Somebody give Mr. Potato a shout out, please. I guess you're not Mr. Potato. That would be somebody else. So that's a far more famous person. Oh, I'm sorry. They're not gendered anymore. My apologies. When they say woke, they mean gay. Well, we got more of an indication on exactly what they mean. Mr. Potato ain't got shit on you. That's what I like to hear. Remember the prosecutor that Ron DeSantis fired? This has been, maybe 2 months ago? Maybe a little bit longer. The prosecutor said that he would not prosecute any cases against women who had had abortions, and he was let go by Ron DeSantis. So, what does woke mean? It's a question liberals and progressives often would like to ask Republicans whose ubiquitous use of the term woke, a phrase originally used by progressives to signify an awareness of racial and economic injustices endemic to U.S. society, has turned the word into a four-letter pejorative. During the 3-day trial this week challenging Governor Ron DeSantis' suspension of Hillsborough County State Attorney Andrew Warren, attorneys for Warren were able to put that question to aides for DeSantis, who called Florida the place where woke goes to die in his victory speech after being reelected last month. Jean-Jacques Cabot, Warren's attorney, noted DeSantis referred to Warren in the announcement of the suspension as a woke ideologue who masqueraded as a prosecutor. And he asked some DeSantis officials what woke means to them. Karen Finsky, DeSantis' communications director, said woke was a slang term for activism, progressive activism, and a general belief in systematic injustices in the country. A belief in systematic injustices in the country. Ryan Newman, DeSantis' general counsel, echoed the part about systematic injustices, specifically regarding the criminal justice system. To me, it means someone who believes that there are systematic injustices in the criminal justice system, and on that basis, they can decline to fully enforce and uphold the law. Asked what woke means more generally, Newman said it would be the belief there are systematic injustices in American society and the need to address them. it would be the belief there are systematic injustices in American society and the need to address them. Now, that statement could be applied to the pastor that got up in front of the Tuscumbia City Council and was all pissy about a Yule celebration, remember? Because to that pastor, he's got the belief that there's a systematic injustice towards Christians in American society and there's a need to address them. But I guess woke doesn't apply to him. Newman also added that DeSantis doesn't believe there are systematic injustices in the U.S. He also emphasized he believed Warren's wokeism led him to sign the pledge not to prosecute abortion crimes, the primary factor that led to his suspension. So, Governor Ron DeSantis doesn't believe there are systematic injustices in the U.S. So pack it up, boys. Let's go ahead. Let's just cancel the government. We don't need it anymore. Everything is solved. There are no injustices in this country. Pack it up. Government meaningless.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Here's just a piece of good information that I'm going to hit you with just because you might need to know it, especially if you travel a lot. Real ID deadline for air travelers has been pushed back to 2025.
This morning, the Department of Homeland Security has extended the deadline once again for people to get a real ID. You now have until May 2025. The deadline was set for May of next year. It is the third time the real ID deadline has been extended. Congress passed the Real ID Act in 2005, establishing minimum security standards for state-issued driver's licenses and identification cards.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
What up, Mark?
Great ABC7 content.
We've totally watched Mark Brown before. Oh God, apparently Elon says more smoking guns are coming. Buddy, we haven't even seen one smoking gun. Oh no, we did see a smoking gun earlier. A cop used it to shoot a woman that was standing in her own home. There was no smoking gun with your stupid Twitter reveal. God damn. Oh, I'm sorry. I said earlier that I thought the Merriam-Webster word of the year was gaslight. Apparently, I might have been correct on that one. Because goblin mode is the Oxford word of the year. Never heard it before.
2022 Oxford Word of the Year has been revealed, and it's actually two words.
It's a phrase. That's not a word. I hate to get pedantic on the Oxford goddamn dictionary. Because you would think they know what a word is better than I.
2022 Oxford Word of the Year has been revealed, and it's actually two words. It's goblin mode. Here's the definition if you haven't heard the term.
I love how cracked up she is about it. Goblin mode. What the fuck is goblin mode? I don't know.
Here's the definition if you haven't heard the term. It means a type of behavior which is unapologetically self-indulgent, lazy, slovenly, or greedy, typically in a way that rejects social norms or expectations. Now, this word was actually picked by the public, and it's the first.
So, Trump. That was a good description of Trump, right?
Behavior which is unapologetically self-indulgent, lazy, slovenly, or greedy, typically in a way that rejects social norms or expectations. Now, this word was actually picked by the public, and it's the first time the Oxford
goblin mode
put the word of the year up for a vote, and that particular one, goblin mode, captured a whopping 93% of the vote, beating out other options like hashtag I stand with and metaverse.
Oh shit, we're watching that. Goblet, who voted on this shit? It was Oxford. Warlord, did you vote on this shit? Did they ask you? Since it was Oxford. You'll remember a couple of weeks ago, we did a story about a man who fell off a cruise ship. He was having drinks with his sister, I believe. And apparently fell off right after he said, like, good night, I'm going to my cabin. And on his way to his cabin, he fell off of the boat. This is the reason why they didn't find him. Because for hours, nobody really knew that he was missing because they had been drinking at a bar. I assume he had a lot to drink. Maybe the alcohol made him buoyant. That's how he was able to survive. He gave an interview to Good Morning America, so let's find out exactly what was going through his head as he sloshed around for like 12 to 15 hours. I can't remember what the actual time frame was. I think it was like 12 hours before they noticed he was missing. It was 15 before they rescued him, if I remember the story. God damn.
A man who spent 20 hours treading water
20.
in the Gulf of Mexico after falling from a cruise ship. He's sharing his incredible tale of survival and rescue at sea. Eva Pilgrim here with the interview. Good morning, Eva.
This was a crazy story, guys. While his skin is raw from the salt and swimming, somehow James Michael Grimes doesn't have a broken bone or even a cut.
I'm amazed he wasn't eaten by a shark.
Thanksgiving miracle, one he already knows has changed his life forever.
It was a Thanksgiving to remember.
James Michael Grimes knows he's lucky to be alive.
My worst fear is drowning, and that was something I did not want to have to face.
The 28-year-old going overboard a cruise ship in the middle of the night saying,
Please tell me how you ended up falling into the water. He survived after going goblin mode. Please tell me how you fell into the water. I'm dying to know.
He spent about 20 hours treading water alone in the Gulf of Mexico.
I wanted to see my family, and I was dead set on making it out of there. You know, I was never accepting that this is it. This is going to be the end of my life.
It was supposed to be a Thanksgiving celebration. James Michael and 18 of his family members boarding the Carnival Valor last Wednesday in New Orleans.
We were just hanging out, having a good time, watching some live music, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Did you have a few drinks?
I had during the day, and I'd actually did like an air guitar solo, and there was a competition they were doing, and I'd won it, so I'd won a free drink, so I had that, but...
You weren't like inebriated, had like a ton of drinks.
No, ma'am.
I doubt.
How many drinks do you think you'd had?
I couldn't really say.
Around 11 p.m. that first night on board, James Michael told his sister he was going to the bathroom. What happened next is still unclear.
Do you remember leaving and going to find...
So him saying he's going to the bathroom is different than the way I interpreted it when we first heard the story, that he was going to bed in his cabin. I just assumed the sister thought he had too many drinks, went and passed out, and 12 hours later, she hadn't heard from him, and it's not unusual for a drunk person to sleep for 12 hours if they partied hard.
Find the bathroom?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember falling off the boat?
No.
So you don't know how it happened?
No, ma'am. I came to regain consciousness. I was in the water with no boat in sight.
So you, for a while, were passed out in the water?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
And he's going to tell me he wasn't inebriated.
I can't float myself, even when I'm trying to. So there had to be, the Lord was with me when I was out there, because something...
I want security camera footage. I want to know how this fuck fell off of that boat.
Someone was holding me up the whole time while I was passed out.
The next day, when he had
fucking God was holding you up, but could God have been the one that knocked you off the fucking boat since you don't fucking remember?
and his family alerted the ship's
Lord of Booze was with
at
him.
2:30, more than 12 hours after James Michael was last seen. Carnival notified the Coast Guard of a missing passenger.
We did have a fairly significant search area. It was a potential of over 7,000 miles of ocean we had to search.
James Michael was alone in an area known to be a feeding ground for sharks.
I thought it was a shark. I mean, I was swimming in one direction, and I looked around, and I seen it at the corner of my eye. And it came up on me really quick. And I went under, and I could see it. And it wasn't a shark, I don't believe, but it had more like a flat mouth. And it came up and bumped one of my legs, and I kicked it with the other leg. It scared me, not knowing what it was, or at the time how big it was.
He kicked a manatee. I'm pissed.
Tried to stay positive and calm. Exhausted and hungry, he ate what he could find to maintain his energy.
A stick come floating by. Looked like bamboo. So I started eating on it. And it actually, I mean, I'm not going to say it tasted good, but it gave some type of flavor in my mouth other than salt water.
Was there any point while you were out there where you thought, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this?
When it started getting back towards nighttime again, the water started getting colder. At that time, I thought, you know, how much longer am I going to have to be out here?
Yeah, but you just kept swimming?
Yes, ma'am. You know, the fall didn't kill me. You know, sea creatures didn't eat me. I felt like I was meant to get out of there.
As the sun was going down Thanksgiving night, James Michael says he spotted a glimmer of hope, the lights from a tanker ship, and decided to swim towards it.
That was my final little burst of energy. The strength that I had, I used pretty much every bit of it to try to make it to one of them.
The Coast Guard then arriving, his miraculous rescue captured on camera.
When the Coast Guard got there,
yeah.
What happened?
They circled the boat 2 or 3 times looking for me, and you know, I'd done taken off my socks and everything and was just waving them around my head, trying to do something where they would see me. And when that light finally hit me, somehow I heard, "We got him." And I seen a guy coming down from that helicopter, and it was coming towards me. You know, right then I thought, man, I see the light.
When the Coast Guard guy showed up in the water, what'd you say to him?
Well, the first thing I actually told him was, I don't have any clothes on. Because I didn't. I'd been stripped out of everything. He said, that's fine. All right, and I was just like, okay. And he told me to hold on to this life vessel, and I was just thinking, thank you. You know, you're like a guardian angel coming down for me.
His rescuers believe he was seconds away from not making it.
I swam to as fast as I could. As I got to him, I shoved the rescue sling under his arms, and he collapsed into it. He had nothing left.
James Michael says the whole experience has given him new purpose.
These were actually the pants that I'd planned on wearing on the cruise, but never got to, and I put them on this morning, and I reached in the pocket, and there was something, there's a fortune, and it says, "Life's a beach, enjoy the wave."
Do you think it changed you?
Yes, definitely. It opened my eyes. I take things for granted, I reckon, or a lot of people do.
Do you think you'll go on a cruise ship again?
Yeah, I will.
Really?
Yeah. I ain't gonna let it discourage me that much. I might not get within 10 foot of the rails, but I'll definitely be open to going on another cruise, because I really didn't get to go on this one.
Yeah, it was the first day. Safety barriers in all the public areas that prevent guests from falling. As for James Michael, he told us he is...
Yeah, if one night I just mysteriously disappeared from a cruise ship and woke up, I'm fucking in the middle of the fucking Gulf of Mexico, I'm gonna think God hates me. Not that God is looking out for me. says he wasn't inebriated. Did he look inebriated when he was doing that air guitar? I think you look pretty inebriated. And if you're telling me that you just blacked out and woke up in the fucking Gulf of Mexico, you were fucking drunk, dude. You were drunk. And it's okay, you were on a cruise ship. He wasn't just inebriated, he was annihilated. Annihilated. But I bet he woke up and was like, well, shit, this is a buzzkill. I like the fact that he's like, I'm going to go on a cruise ship again. I didn't even really get to go on this one. That's fucking funny. I'm going to hit the content warning for this story because it's going to be you seem like a God-fearing young man. Mr. Balls, good evening, my friend. How are you? We've seen a lot of God-fearing young men on the show here tonight. He was goblin mode drunk for sure. We're gonna have to have a goblin troll now, aren't we? Feeling right righteous, hell yeah, praise the fucking Lord. All right, let me hit you with a story. I'm gonna hit the content warning for this one, but it's about a puppy that's a fucking hero. But it might be a little graphic, and some people that love some animals might not enjoy this story. I'm gonna throw it out there that this is our last story. This is your animal video. But it might be a little graphic for some people, so if you're not going to be able to handle it, totally understand, love ya, goodbye. Did the puppy kill it? No, that would have been our top story, and I would have been talking about how like this puppy is based. But now if coyotes are the cops of the animal world, then yes, that's what this puppy did.
We had sheep out here clearing brush, and the first time the coyotes were out in the cul-de-sac was about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and they did what coyotes usually do when you come out. They ran away, and that's good. You know, we threw some things at them and yelled at them, and they were just typical coyotes running away, looking over their shoulder and kind of taunting you, but still running away.
Oh yeah, they're assholes.
And then about 2:30, 3 o'clock, somewhere in there, I was woken up by the dogs barking and came out here, and Casper and Daisy had the sheep backed up in that corner over there, and there's just 5 or 6 of them there at the time, and Daisy was staying close to the sheep, and Casper was out a little further out front this way, and when I got about somewhere around here, there were coyotes inside the pen and coyotes outside. I wasn't, like I said,
They thought it was dinner time.
Afraid that they were going to attack me or anything, but they weren't responding. They were focused on Casper, I think, as much as anything. And he charged into the middle of them and killed some right in here, and then came out. They jumped out of the fence. Some ran that way, and some ran this way over the fence, and he just came out the fence here and killed more, and then they had a fight all up and down this creek. And it wasn't a short thing. It was half hour. You know, it was a
He was beating some coyote ass for a half hour.
I mean, I went out to try to get him back and try to make sure he was okay. And
he was like, I still got some more coyote ass to beat.
So the next day, we thought we could find him. We thought he must have been killed. And so we were looking for him. And if he wasn't killed, we figured.
I didn't hear no bell. Thought this was America.
He was hurt, and we needed to. We knew he was hurt because we found parts of his tail and blood and other things. And so we were worried about him. And we put out a post on Facebook and let neighbors know, because we didn't want we didn't want anybody to run into an injured dog, and the neighbors came out and helped us look, and we found more coyotes dead, and
fucking coyote killer up in
still
here.
didn't find him. And 2 days later,
Your coyote serial killer.
Here, back here in the pen.
He's like, you're coming after my people. I'm going to go hunt your people down. It was just bodies of coyotes stacked up from this dog. God damn.
Somebody to run into an injured dog, and the neighbors came out and helped us look, and we found more coyotes dead, and still didn't find him. And 2 days later, he showed up back here in the pen.
That's what I was going to say, Puppy Rambo. They drew first blood.
In the little chicken hutch, and popped his head out, and he looked like death. I mean, he looked terrible.
Been through it.
He came back home, and he just kind of looked at me like, boss, just stop looking at how bad I look.
Give me a steak.
And so my daughter and I cleaned him up and didn't go to church, and cleaned him up and went looking for veterinarians. And ultimately, it took a day before we got Lifeline. Once we called Lifeline called up to the vets. It's the emergency vet that they work with, and said this is a Lifeline case. And from that point
we got fucked up
everything
there.
was taken care of. They were great. So, you know, he's had a few surgeries, I guess, wound care surgery kind of thing, and I think one of them they've closed up one of his wounds now, and he had to have his tail amputated. And at the same time, it's been about a month, and he's looking great compared to where he was.
Good puppy.
And there's not much question about him surviving now. It's a question of what his quality of life will be. And so he'll be able to move around.
Fucking love him. Give him whatever he wants.
We don't know if he'll ever be out with his sheep again.
No, don't let it. No, take good care of that puppy. Navy Christmas what the fuck? Take it like that puppy just needs to take it easy the rest of his life. He's earned all the lovin's, all the treats, all the milk bones, whatever his fucking favorite food is. He gets it every night. Love this puppers. Well, I guess we're watching a Navy Christmas special. 1986. God damn, check out that fucking aircraft carrier they got. It's taking up the entire living room. That fucker's almost life size.
John F. Kennedy. Well, my dad's a flat earther of the John F. Kennedy. What does your dad do in the Navy? My dad is the commander of the John F. Kennedy.
From Hampton Roads to the Med, it's a Navy Christmas with your hosts Joe Flanagan and John Wesley. It's a Navy Christmas is brought to you by Newport News Shipbuilding and Taco Bell.
It is brought to you by Taco Bell.
We at Newport News Shipbuilding are proud of
we at Newport News Shipbuilding.
We have built more than 200 Navy ships. And Navy
ship. He said ship. I'm sorry.
Lives for almost 100 years.
Buddy pork, that's correct. That's the value of the U.S. dollar.
We are happy to co-sponsor this telecast. We send a deep appreciation to all Navy people and their families.
Yeah, Mox. It's just autoplayed after we watched Rambo Puppy, so I'm going with it.
And I speak for everyone at Taco Bell.
What up, Lori Dewey?
We are to bring you this program, A Navy Christmas. This is a time of year to reflect upon the past 12 months and to set our sights on the future. A future that is so directly tied to you, the men, women, families, and friends of the United States Navy. We're grateful for the opportunity to extend our warmest of holiday wishes in a very...
Now, if this doesn't get you fucks in the in the Christmas spirit, I don't know what will. This propaganda brought to you by Taco Bell. Sassy making tacos right now. I would love a taco. I've been studying up on how to make some dippy tacos. That's what Sparkles always called them. They're apparently called like birria tacos. Rum sodomy? What? Rum sodomy?
You live in sexual anarchy?
Yeah, that was way before the Taco Bell dog. Apparently, the Taco Bell dog was a disaster of an ad campaign. Mazzolopsis. I swear, I need a phonetical pronunciation. You've never had a taco?
John F. Kennedy is anchored just over my shoulder. It's here.
How is that possible?
And the other members of its battle group and the Marine Amphibious Ready Group will all be spending the holidays. They're about 2/3 of the way through their 6-month cruises now. During the next hour...
Oh, Rambo Dog was excellent. I'm totally clipping that. That's going up on YouTube.
A sailor's Christmas in the Med. Right, Joe? Absolutely, John. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Joe Flanagan.
What up, Joe?
This just in
the Navy, you can sell the 7 Seas in the Navy. You guys have Taco Bell in Europe, don't you? Mazzolopsis.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. And I'm telling you why.
Fuck it, they're gonna get me copyright on this. All these musics. Mississippi. He's
making a
fucking Willie Nelson totally gonna come after me for this. The other ones I might have been a little. Is that Michael Dukakis? Missalopsy. Am I correct on that? Was that Michael Dukakis? And don't you love that I can name politicians from before I was even 86. I wasn't even old enough to talk yet.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Miss Pepsi, Mississippi Pepsi. I love you guys so much.
Christmas. You know, every year old St. Nick leaves the North Pole and travels.
I need to find the tank photo to compare it to.
All the boys and girls. Well, one of my favorite stops is always here in the Mediterranean to visit the boys of the U.S. Navy. They do a great job for us year in.
Why? Why do they get presents? They haven't been good kids. What the fuck?
And year out to make this old world safe, and the least old Santa can do is bring them a little Christmas joy. Why, in my bag here, I might even find a toy.
Az was partying back then. RB thinks this might have been one of Mike Lindell's stops when he was on crack one day.
I was on crack.
Right. Great Christmas. Ho, 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 ho. See you later.
I mean, if the sack was full of porno mags, then that is exactly what some seamen need. I turn off the Muslim music, or otherwise you're gonna get some fucking right-wing preacher coming up here like, this is satanic. This is an assault on my celebration of Jesus fucking Christ. For those of you who don't know, that Santa Claus is coming to town in Arabic. Oh, your dad was in the Navy in World War II? That fucking chihuahua. Yes, I did hear that story that PepsiCo had one of the biggest fleet of battleships in the world. $1 to you two.
Especially during the Christmas season.
And a very Salvatore Dali to you as well, sir.
Ornaments to hang, and gifts to buy. But off their coast are some 8,000 to 10,000 Norfolk-based sailors who are celebrating Christmas a little differently. For them, Christmas is another work week with long lines, long hours, long days, and long nights.
They're still protecting us from communism back then.
Away from home.
But this is before the Berlin Wall came down.
And the light of hope and the spirit of the season manages to shine. We'll show you that in places like...
Borg, you're awful horny here tonight.
Where a Marine and a merchant can exchange holiday cheers.
You live in sexual
We'll show
anarchy.
you people like Petty Officer Wayne Coram of Norfolk.
Borg needs a cold shower.
Wife and 4 children for the first time and missing them dearly. And we'll show you people like Master Chief Larry Crawford of Virginia Beach. 43 years a Navy man.
Yes, I will agree. That man right there, he's getting me all hot and bothered.
Coram of Norfolk. Away from his wife and 4 children.
Look at that bald head. I'd shine that right up.
And we'll show you people like Master Chief Larry Crawford of Virginia Beach.
That master can chief me up.
43 years a Navy man who says no matter how long you serve, you never get used to being away from home at Christmas. From the cities at sea like the USS Saipan and the Kennedy.
A veritable buffet of man meat. I guess you guys got a fucking uniform fetish or some shit going on.
At least for the moment. And try to share Christmas.
I didn't think I had a uniform fetish at all. Like nobody's ever hit me like that, especially like I've been like pretty ACAB for a very long time. But there was one time when I was doing the news that I went into the jail, and there was a female guard there, and I'm like, that outfit looks hot on you. That outfit looks incredibly hot on you. That's the only time.
With our Hampton Roads neighbors on the front lines of peace on Earth.
On the front lines of peace on Earth. They're on the front lines of making sure there is no peace on Earth. What the fuck? Peace on Earth. Let's show somebody loading a round of fucking ammunition into a helicopter.
Is energy.
We're creating peace on Earth. Oh, look at all these bullets.
Where life and death decisions are made by young people.
I guess they're shells. They're not bullets.
Pilot's life, and so are my shipmates, which work with me. Their life depends on me.
This guy, like. These people's lives depended on you, and you're probably like fucking homeless and not taken care of right now, out on the streets begging because that's the way the U.S. treats their vets.
One of the people who depends on Theodore is Ken Crandall, who just a week ago became commanding officer of Fighter Squadron 32, based at Oceana. This is his 4th deployment. Each one has meant being away at Christmas, leaving his wife and 3 children at home in Virginia Beach. It's not fun.
Virginia Beach is pretty nice.
Room here, and we probably have a nice dinner at the ship here, and you get lonely and probably write a letter. And I know it's hard, but make a phone call.
I've got friends that served, and I've got people that serve that I can't fucking stand.
It gives you a high, but it gives you kind of a low too, because you're decorating for yourselves, and you're decorating for this.
Bernie says it gets you high.
On the other hand,
he's got a little bit of the squinty eye going on. Perhaps he smoked a little Chiba.
It builds your spirits, but then...
According to my dad, when he served, all they did was do drugs over in Germany and shit. Apparently that's what they did in the 70s. Like, you served and you went over to Germany and you did a bunch of drugs. Fuck it. Aw, shit. Is that Tone's handing out? Tone's still handing out the gift subs. Santa Claus Tone's up in here.
It also kind of lets your spirits down a little bit.
No matter how fast the tempo is on a carrier, it just isn't fast enough to keep a sailor's mind in the med at Christmas.
My thoughts are on home, my family, my wife, my kids. It's my first Christmas away from home. Now thoughts are just back home with them.
God rest you.
I mean, when you...
Let nothing you dismay.
I don't want to throw it all on the actual men that do the serving, but like the military fucks people up, and then when you go over there and you're actually fighting in a war, like people who have served in the last 20 years have. You're fighting in an actual war zone that is pretty fucking obvious that you are the aggressor.
There were efforts.
The people hate you for being in their country because you are the aggressor. I'm sure that fucks with your head.
A demonstration of what this ship is all about. A bombing exercise by the carrier's A-6 and A-7 aircraft.
To have been told that you were doing
Sky by the F-14s.
the honorable and patriotic thing only to get over there and realize, fuck,
What the demonstration
are we the baddies?
in the 18-hour days on the flight.
I'm sure that destroys people's mental health. Not to mention the PTSD that you get from serving. Not to mention, they have to break you down and build you back up.
Well, we've been watching some of these 5,000.
It is.
If I know Joe, he's found his way to some food.
If I know Joe, he's found his way to some food.
Yours was hard to prepare. Try cooking 5,000 meals 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Now that's the job of the cooks here in the main galley.
Talk about food. It takes 12 cooks to man the pans here in the main galley. And because the Kennedy is so large, there are 60 other cooks working 4 other dining areas around the ship. 12 hours on and 12 hours off.
Have yourself a good day, my friend.
Now, why would someone want this kind of duty?
I just love to cook. That's how it's come I become an MS.
Why would somebody want to do this kind of duty? He said duty, first of all.
I was working breakfast, where we go through 8,000 eggs.
Like, why would somebody want to do that? Because they aren't fucking getting shot at.
Come on, man. 1,500 sailors and Marines march through these lines each morning.
Not that many of them are getting shot at in 1986 anyway.
We have a leak. We've sprung a leak.
Because maybe you're in Beirut or some shit.
Have you ever seen an omelet this big? You can make it at home. All it takes is
a little cheese on it.
Oh, we're doing a cooking show now. You can't tell me that, like, I have seen cooks exactly like that. I've seen that face on so many fucking cooks. That motherfucker went out back on break and smoked a joint. You can't tell me he didn't.
A little bit of bell peppers. How many can eat one of these omelets? Okay, I could feed 10 out of this omelets I just laid down, about 10 people.
Christmas Day, the Kennedy cooks will prepare 800 gallons of turkey rice soup, 1,600 pounds of grilled tenderloin steak.
Turkey rice soup? Oh, hey, it's Christmas. We're going to cook you a special meal. You're going to get some turkey rice soup.
2,400 pounds of roast turkey, 200 turkeys, 1,000 pounds of potatoes, 1,000 pounds of dressing, 700 pounds of broccoli, 800 pounds of corn, 100 pounds of cake, 500 pies, and 300 gallons, or about 5,000 servings of eggnog, unspiked.
Unspiked. I'm glad they had to specify.
Some 3,000 enlisted come to the line here in the main galley. Now, just down the hall from here, about 250.
I love that the reporter is like, "Hey, let me put on a chef's hat and a schmuck and go back here, make it look like I'm cooking on the line."
The officers dine in the wardroom under the watchful eye of a man by the name of Wayne Coram.
You're exactly right, Az. Okay. I'm gonna say Wayne looks like the coolest motherfucker that has been in this fucking video. Look at that! Look at the swagger that guy's got going on. Look at the look on his face.
He does. And just this month, he made petty officer.
Wayne fucks.
Made him feel good. But this time of year, he'd feel a whole lot better if he were somewhere else. That somewhere else is here on Helmick Avenue in Norfolk, where his wife Cherie and their 4 children live. Laura's 10, Jennifer's 9.
See, Wayne fucks.
And little Cody just turned 3. The holidays just don't seem the same.
Little Cody just turned 3. Wayne hasn't been home in 4 years.
More empty. It's sad, because this time of year makes you think about family and everything, but it makes you feel empty and kind of lost. Everybody has the little pairs they go off on, and you just hear.
Little pairs?
Yay!
Oh, they go off in pairs. I was thinking the fruit.
Yes, the Corms are singing and decorating, but their real Christmas will be in 2 months.
Yeah, 4 kids alone because her husband is overseas, and you know, the 3 boyfriends she have aren't full time.
We're gonna have a Christmas tree up and everything, and our lights, and it's
This is in 1986, Kikyo.
for his homecoming.
We were watching a story about a Rambo dog that killed a bunch of coyotes, and this just auto played, and I'm like, well, let's do it.
It won't be too much like Christmas here.
That is true. That is true with the military men. You get more money the more kids you have.
More.
I'm glad everybody's really into this.
A video for Christmas.
My numbers have gone up. People are tuning in for this, not the fucking news. Wayne definitely fucks.
Look at his loved ones home in Norfolk.
Look at that face.
As soon as Daddy's done, he'll be home.
What is this, Cody?
Wait, does he get in the video chat him or some shit?
See you pretty soon. Daddy! Daddy. No.
Watching his family celebrating Christmas without him reminded Wayne just how much he missed them.
It's hard on you.
Wait, is he just watching a video of him? We didn't have like video chat technology back then, did we?
For any length of time, except, you know, from when I went through boot camp in A school, and it's really hard.
We're just this show is now just going to be Navy videos, Navy fucking propaganda. We'll see if they got an Easter one. Find out if they got a 4th of July one. Got a Martin Luther King Day video about what it's like to be in the military on Martin Luther King Day. Visit them for Valentine's Day. Oh no, this I didn't know it was gonna get this sappy.
Merry Christmas, Wayne. I love you.
Oh. So I think that's what they filmed, like a message from his family, and then played it for him.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. We've come all the way from Norfolk to bring to you a special gift.
Santa doesn't live in Norfolk. He lives in fucking the North Pole. You said it wrong. Well, that was Pat Buchanan right there.
While the guys were opening the gift from the Wives Club, Santa made the rounds, and everyone seemed anxious to talk to him.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
True, you don't often see how... Whoa! That was a young Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
While the guys were opening the gift from the Wives Club...
Before he went home to California and started writing songs about it.
Talk to him.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
That's motherfucking Anthony Kiedis. Look at that. Look at that. This is before he became famous for writing songs about California. Before they found him under the bridge.
The gift was a banner that stretched from ceiling to floor and contained signatures and messages from home.
I think it's fantastic, is what I think it is.
See anybody?
No, I don't recognize any names yet. I'm still going to look here for a little bit longer, and then I'll...
Well, nobody loves you, sir.
Many a sailor searched for a familiar note, and many a sailor found one.
Oh, I like that. That shows them we love us and miss us back home. That's real nice.
See her name?
Yes, I already seen it.
What's her name?
Sharon Walker, my wife.
Lives in
Aww.
Virginia.
What do you say to her?
Merry Christmas, baby, and I love you. Be home soon.
Yeah, my wife and children's on there.
What'd you say to
You
them?
don't have a wife and children. You ain't got no fucking soul.
I love you.
Yeah, I found her.
Tell us who it is and where she is.
Dude popped into the shot there.
Ann and Victoria Nelson. They live in
You saying I'm an angry man, Professor Q? I am?
Well, Merry Christmas, honey. I love you. Thank you.
So Santa was doing his part, and it seems
It's either a gay man or a serial killer. Could be both.
You know, nothing says Merry Christmas
Just
more
because you're gay doesn't mean you're not a serial killer.
from you at home.
Looking at you, Dahmer.
The Fleet Post Office in Sigonella, Sicily, where all the mail from you gets sorted and shipped to the sailors stationed anywhere in the Med.
Now, given the time period, this is 1986.
it comes in here by the truckload.
There's a major danger of somebody going postal.
To Kennedy.
Here are the
Kennedy.
process of sorting bags according to ships and land
A little Jeffrey Dahmer as a treat.
The mail is very important to us. There isn't a sailor out here with the 6th Fleet or here at Naval Air Station Sigonella that doesn't appreciate getting mail from home. And we like to think that somewhere in all these bags and bundles back here, there's something for everybody.
Once the bags have been sorted, individual letters are tended to under the watchful eye of handlers who know their job is very important.
It sure helps the morale around here to get the mail here and get the mail to the ships. The guys that come in here, they thank us every time we see it.
She later became a
It's a nice feeling.
high school volleyball coach.
The spirit of the sailors around.
Also taught health education.
Christmas mail can get from the postal office out to the ships at sea, and that is by
The mustaches have been fantastic. That's been the best part.
6,000 pounds of
I will agree. All of the glasses make them look weird. Those big ass fucking square glasses from the 80s.
soon became the transfer of these orange bags.
There's only one man that pulls those glasses off, and his name is Arn Anderson.
And to think there was
They all look hot and gay. Well, it is the Navy, Porg.
coming from
It's in the Navy.
We're going to break down.
I don't know about Philip here.
Pitching cases here, and well,
I think I'd invite Philip to the orgy. No offense, Philip.
bags get full here, and then probably have to hold another mail call
This
later.
is not my type.
Mail call the best time on ship? It is for a lot of people, yes, sir. Next to chow time, probably most important.
Here the mail.
Professor Q, why am I mean?
Way to the ship's various departments.
I didn't say like he's an unattractive man. I'm just saying he wouldn't be invited to my orgy.
This mail belongs to the America Remembers campaign. Each and every letter will be answered.
Picking on that poor postal worker.
And I think everybody's pretty aware of is.
I did say the redhead had no soul.
Cards back from the folks at home.
That dude looked like he would be like one of the mean dads on a fucking sitcom.
Guys and away from their families, the younger ones.
Yells at his kids too much.
Their parents and so on, their sweethearts. These letters and this whole campaign is to try to make Christmas time away from home just a little bit less lonely than it would have been otherwise, and it's working.
Finally, our mail ends up.
Now, see, I think those outfits are the gayest
Take
outfits
that precious
you can
time
wear.
to sit down and read the latest from a loved one. In all, it's about a 6-day journey from home to ship.
Certainly letters say it all when it comes to families apart at Christmas time. You know, some families even send videotape messages.
Most postal workers have no soul.
A special videotape message from the skipper of the USS John F. Kennedy.
Okay, so they put the reporter that was covering the dinner to work.
Of course, first of all,
Maybe that's the dude we saw earlier. Was that the guy that I called Michael Dukakis?
that we want to wish them a very Merry Christmas.
That was actually Jack Moriarty.
New Year's season. We will be home quite soon, and
You got some bushy eyebrows.
all the people back home to know that we very thoroughly feel and enjoy the
Yeah, pretty much, simp.
throughout.
You know, I almost joined the Navy. I know this is going to come as a shock to a lot of people. I almost joined the Navy.
And you yourself have seen the great volumes of mail.
It was 2003.
That have come from.
I had been fired from the radio station for DUI. I had no license, and it looked like, you know, the only way to make a real drastic change in my life was to join the military.
That support us back home, and
I was supposed to go in and work as a broadcaster and be on a naval ship
from
doing radio.
And be rest assured that we'll have
a confirmed Nancy boy
aboard this ship. There'll be a 10.
What happened was I was supposed to go in with two of my other friends.
Our family and loved ones, but we'll be thinking
me and my best friend at the time, smoked pot the night before and thought we could drink like 2 gallons of water.
Cindy Anderson and Matthew. And
That does not work.
Love to them. Hope they have a very wonderful holiday.
We were red hot on the drug test, but we did not tell our third friend that we failed the drug test, and he
I guess you can't.
he shipped off a couple of days later.
I don't know what it was.
Hello to Ingrid Brigham. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and I love you very much. See you soon.
It's a Navy Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, hello, Ginger. That's my dog. I'm in trouble now.
Well, your dog. Who else would you want to say hey to besides the dog?
Oh, I'm so excited that I'm going to candidate.
Was he? I would say he was mad at me at first, but apparently, like, he thought it was the best thing for him. He came back and became like an Uber chud.
Just to say, happy holiday.
Wait. It was supposed to be like an hour-long piece. Did we watch the entire hour of that?
The first time the coyotes were out in the cul-de-sac was about 9 o'clock.
Why are you guys being so mean to me?
They did what coyotes usually do when you come out. They ran away.
Why are you guys being so mean to me?
Some things at them and yelled at them and said, "This is a lifeline case."
This was the puppy. This puppy is a heroic fucking puppy that earned its retirement.
So
this guy had sheep, and the puppy kept the sheep safe, chased off the coyotes. It was apparently a Rambo fucking dog.
And he had to have his tail amputated.
Left just fucking piles of bodies of coyotes everywhere it went. Oh, I love you too, Sassy.
Compared to where he was, and there's not much question about him.
I bet there's a lot of furries in the Army. I bet there is.
And so he'll be able to move around. He's big and strong and healthy.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
With the sheep again.
No, he does not. Fucking here we go again. Did we really watch all of that? No, we didn't watch any of this. It just cut off halfway through. We didn't even get like 20 minutes into this. Yeah, we were in the middle part.
We've had cookouts on the fantail.
What's up, Alan Rockenbaum?
Actually set up makeshift grills.
Oh, thank you, Porg. Professor Q is just joshing me, I think.
Cookouts. And that was during the quieter moment.
If not, we'll see who cancels who, Professor Q.
Walter Schibel, an electronics technician, created Mr. Wally.
We'll see
my
who
God!
cancels who.
I'm so sorry you guys missed Mr. Wally and his semen shop. We definitely got to go back for that one.
Where we actually set up makeshift grills, grilled hamburgers and hot dogs. And that was fun. We also have a ship's band that played at the cookouts. And that was during the quieter moments.
Perhaps it was in one of those quieter moments that Petty Officer Walter Schibel, an electronics technician, created Mr. Wally, who took us on a holiday tour of the ship.
Did you guys see that transition?
And that was fun. We also had
the semen shop.
Cookouts. And that was during the quieter moments.
Perhaps it was in one of those quieter moments that Petty Officer Walter Schibel, an electronics technician, created Mr. Wally, who took us on a holiday tour of the ship.
This is ITC2 Johnson. He works down here. He's a very good neighbor. Would you like to say something to the people back home in Norfolk?
Yes, I would, Mr. Wally. I'd like to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's, especially my family and friends.
He'd like to say, what's this cracker fucking doing here? Fucking shit. God damn it. I'm sorry, Twitch. I'm sorry, Twitch. Yes, cancel Justin. Cancel Justin. I'm gonna have to nuke the VOD because I dropped a racial slur. My God.
Wish them all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and wish I could be back there with them.
Fuck you. Fuck you guys.
Nice Christmas message. Come on, let's go see some other people that work here.
You should have a Santa troll, too.
Walter, like most of the men on the ship, is enlisted. Bridging the gap between the enlisted men and the commanding officer falls to Command Master Chief.
You guys know I had to, I put a disclaimer on the front of the one that I had to take down last week. This is a re-upload of the stream from 12/1/2022. Multiple incidents required editing due to graphic content. We tried to stay as true to the original broadcast as possible. Thank you for understanding. Wait. It's a lot of fucking... God damn it. A lot of fucking work to have to go in and bleep out one word to re-upload it. Isn't Sausage Party like some kind of animated movie?
Bob Johnston, a 28-year...
When I was at the dinner for Thanksgiving the other day... Fuck, I gotta reset it again? Fucking fuck. When I was at dinner for Thanksgiving the other day... And the teen was he was on one, he was in goblin mode. He had apparently accused his mom of trying to buy a Valium from one of his friends or something. That one of his friends had been like, hey, I can get some Valium or something. It was like, okay, I'd take one if you brought me one or something like that. And then, the kid just kept accusing her of trying to buy Valium from his friend. And the cousin that was in for Thanksgiving had a girlfriend. And when the kid had left, she was like, speaking of Valium, you want one? And slapped it down on the table. He looked over at me and was like, you want one? I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Navy veteran.
Our Navy's 211 years old. My shipmates on this ship can't have a problem that somebody else...
Your Navy, your ship, sir, I paid for that. It ain't your Navy. It ain't your Navy, sir.
Walter, like most of the men on...
If anything, it's Mr. Wally's Navy.
Between the enlisted men and the commanding officer falls to Command Master Chief Bob Johnston, a 28-year Navy veteran.
Our Navy's 211 years old. My shipmates on this ship can't have a problem that somebody else has not already had. So my job is to, once we identify what that problem is...
He's in charge of the souls on that ship.
Reinvent the wheel.
They're selling the Deep Blue Sea.
But it's that phone call...
Trying to find the...
really tough.
What was it they were searching for in Pirates of the Caribbean that turned them from the zombie pirates or something? I was trying to make a joke and I've never seen Pirates of the Caribbean, I only know it from Kingdom Hearts. Mr. Wally is the best. It's his seaman shop.
Have to be away.
I have difficulty on the telephone. I'm not the old crusty...
You live in sexual anarchy.
Want to believe.
No phone sex for him.
Because I do miss them. The hurt never...
He puts the conscientious objectors straight.
Captain Tom McNicholas, the commanding officer...
Oh, you don't want to go into the military? We'll sick this dude on you.
Half of his crew.
First of all, we're very pleased, and that may sound funny, but I think
I don't have difficulty on the telephone, but I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk on the telephone. I hate it.
Somebody has to be here, and we're kind of proud of the fact that we happen to be here this year. Service people all
HR the Flying Dutchman.
Defending our way of life. One of the messages...
Defending our way of life, which is corporate profits.
Goodwill toward men, and I think that...
No, opposite of that. So, extract as much wealth as you can. No goodwill at all.
This time we'll be home, and we'll appreciate home all the more.
Well, didn't think we were going to get a horsey in this video about being on a ship, but here we are.
We found that out when we attended this Christmas bazaar in Catania with a group of transplanted Hampton Roads residents.
Sicilian fondue.
In Catania.
There was food to eat, prepared by an Italian butcher, complete with a whole array of sausages.
Ooh, now this is what I'm talking about.
Cheeses. There were gifts to buy, like this chair purchased by Clarence and Edna Harris of...
I mean, the cook on the ship looked cool and all, because he'd just been out smoking a joint, but, I'll take this meal.
And toys that caught the eye of all of us.
This is far more appealing to me.
Especially little Patrick Moroney of Norfolk, who dreamed of Christmas morning.
Chestnuts
roasting on an open fire.
Jack Frost.
We even spotted an Italian version of Farm Fresh's Susan Mayo. She was busy frying up a batch of tasty little waffles.
Wait, what? This is an Italian version of some woman we already knew?
In a Cheeto.
No, you can't say that, kid. I gotta censor him as well.
For American traditions. In Italy, they also have
You can't call people...
and lights and home celebrations, and they dwell on the religious also. They have beautiful precipios, which are nativity scenes set up in the churches.
Precipios.
Evenings they have fireworks.
Apparently that's another word for nativity scene.
And,
Precipio.
Churches, the towns, they try to compete with each other on the volcano. And on a clear night from...
That's just the 80s look, Porg.
Fireworks displays going off around the side of the volcano. It's really
Lesbian chic was a thing in the mid-80s.
Bazell is a 74 Kellum High grad. He found an Italian bargain in a German language.
She asked me a question I didn't quite understand. I said, ja. She said, sprechen Sie Deutsch? I said, ja, ich spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch. You know, so she had lived in Germany for 10 years, and my father was stationed in Germany for 3 years when I was living with him, so I know a little German, so we were able to communicate that way. It worked out really well.
So the American was able to talk to the Italian in German.
A sweater for my wife back home. I'll take it to her and we'll have Christmas in January when I get home.
Hold up and show them.
Kids from one.
Tell them what's coming on.
Yeah, really, this is it. The gray Angora sweater. It was a good price.
Angora sweater, hell yeah.
Probably one thing that's very different between Italy and the States is that Christmas starts later here. It doesn't start the weekend or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. It starts 2 weeks before Christmas. So you can't really find Christmas supplies
Like a normal person should.
2 weeks before Christmas.
A normal country should. You know why it starts so early in the U.S.? It's because of consumerism.
Fake tree, we're used to having a real tree all the time. The majority of the time, you know, like saying, hey, I like that smell of a real Christmas tree. And now you got the smell of a fake one sitting around there.
What's a fake one smell like?
Fireplaces.
Curiouser's got one in there. I've smelled it. I don't think it smells any particular way.
We don't get to do that now.
So you've gotten a glimpse of Christmas shopping.
Smells like Up Dog. What's Up Dog?
Now John Westling will take us Christmas shopping with the Marine in beautiful downtown Naples.
It smells like Freedom Cocks. I'm not resetting the clock for that. This is like Sunny in Philadelphia music.
Naples has been a haven for seafarers for centuries.
I love the smell of cocks early in the morning.
Support activities for the U.S. 6th Fleet.
You're treading awful close to my bit, pussy in the morning. I'm already gonna sue Gwyneth Paltrow over that.
Marine Lance Corporal Reeve Swainston is one of several thousand support people in Naples. Reeve has picked up enough Italian...
Not resetting the clock because I was using it in an anatomically correct way. It's kind of like how you can... Fair enough, Porg, fair enough.
He was touring Christmas Alley with some friends. Christmas Alley is a place where you can buy just about any...
Did I miss the Moody Blues?
Year-round.
I like some Moody Blues.
Reeve was looking for something Italian for his mother. Easy, you say?
Nights and wine satin.
You'll find a lot of things American, believe it or not. And I was basically just out
in the Philippines, they will shoot you dead in the street for dealing drugs. So I guess you got to have something to try to get your
It's hard to walk through Naples without
dopamine fix.
The hundreds of churches, many of which are hundreds of years old. Reeve's British friend says one of the tricks to getting around is to learn Italian time.
If someone says to you, we'll meet you at 11:30, you usually double the time, 12:30. It's usually think of a time and double it with the Italians.
But a visitor also learns that the Italians are a friendly and enthusiastic people. And they also...
Oh, is that song the Moody Blues, really? I honestly thought it was one of the bumper songs that they used on Sunny in Philadelphia. Now that's how you do a pizza. Oh, they cut us off again.
And we don't know if he'll ever be.
Well, let's see if it auto plays the Navy, and we'll finish it. Okay, we're gonna auto play the Navy. Yeah, you never cut off pizza like that. What the? I got 30 more seconds.
To walk around.
How much more of there is this?
Daddy, it's home to Virginia.
American.
Visit some of the hundreds of churches.
Now that's how you do a pizza. That's how you do a pizza. Those Italian-style pizza.
Of course.
Some people think you gotta do the St. Louis-style pizza with the provolone and stuff. No. I don't know what is wrong with people that say pineapple doesn't go on pizza.
Christmas in Italy.
The sweetness of the pineapple with the saltiness of the cheese is amazing. What is wrong with you people?
There's no place like home. There really isn't. All I have.
You don't like pineapple on pizza. You've got like a
that's all I have in the world.
Child's palate or something going on.
Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and I just work Thanksgiving Day, and sometimes it even hurts.
So much Navy cock.
But it's my duty.
And pizza.
Of course, the men who spend the holidays here in the Med depend on support from home. And home is where many sailors' hearts are at this time of year. Joe tells us about one such family separation.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Wake up. Wake up. Yeah. Hey, come see your father.
Oh, well, is it upset or is it happy? I felt like she was tickling him to make him smile.
Yeah,
But then he looked like, bitch, get the fuck up off me.
he's so little.
You're disturbing my nap.
Christmas outfit.
Linda Rowland is new to all this. Mary just
I like a little pineapple with some spice.
Christmas alone. It's also her first Christmas in her new Virginia Beach home.
Jalapenos are fine, but like people tend to fucking brine those things, and I hate pickle stuff.
Yet to see.
Well, Miss, putting up the Christmas.
So, like you usually get like the pepperoncinis or whatever on pizzas. They've been brined and like, ugh.
For the first time.
Can't do it.
Last year's, he's scared to death of him. The normal traditions that we started the first 3 years of marriage.
That sounds nasty, Porg.
December 3rd, 1986. Dearest John, hope all is well with you.
Like I would be cool. Like I am totally cool with the jalapenos if you're like I'm chopping up an actual jalapeno and putting it on. But like I said, most of them are usually brined.
Timmy had his first trip to Richmond. Dad's new house is so.
Well, Kikyo, that's what I point out. Like there are different conflicts going on. Like I want to say like Beirut was happening at this time in Lebanon.
The rest of the way.
And there was like a conflict. There's
He rolls with Mike's punches and seems.
Kosovo was a few years later.
That's the way it's supposed to be. Mike goes back to school tomorrow.
There's a conflict going on in Kuwait. I don't know if that had like really set off just yet.
Catholic group offered to take him tomorrow, but we can take him. Well, better.
And then for some reason, if you talk to people that served during the 80s,
Write more later. Love, Linda.
We didn't have any.
Linda's husband works as a jet mechanic supervisor.
We didn't have any declared conflicts going on, but for some reason, a lot of people who served in the 80s did some time in South America.
And he did just that.
Where's Kennedy?
Kennedy, do I have a bedtime?
What's he working?
Porg, you're assuming the wrong thing about my schedule. I actually do this show in my morning now. Because Curiouser is a night nurse, my schedule has flipped around.
Santa knew
to where like I have her schedule. I've only been up for a few hours.
Little Christmas present, and take care of your little.
I actually got up earlier today, around 3 maybe, and I had coffee with Curiouser.
And I'll be calling on the phone. Pretty soon.
We don't actually interact a lot. We see each other in passing, but like actually like got to hang out and talk with her this morning. That was pretty cool.
I'm gonna eat your brownies. See,
we had our coffee.
These brownies here. All these.
I wasn't going to get up, but
but I get the
like
ball.
I smelled the coffee and like I had like cotton mouth or something laying here in bed, and I was like, I want coffee. I want coffee. And then I ended up like taking a nap again, and like I woke up to her like telling me that she had made dinner. I wasn't paying attention. I was talking about like my morning. So I think I woke up. I think I put Majority Report on from this afternoon and was listening to Sam and Emma and fell the fuck asleep and woke up with the might take all the strength I got. Like with that, like so many times I've fallen asleep with the Majority Report in the background. And the song about the 101 and the 5 wakes me up.
Well, there are times at night that you walk around your bedroom saying, okay, dear, I miss you. I wish you were here, but it's been a bad day and I can't take it. But everybody else just say, oh, I'm fine. I'm doing well, you know. There are times, but yeah, it's
kind of petered out here towards the end, hasn't it?
You miss him very much.
Go back to showing us pizzas.
You miss him very much, but you realize it's his job.
Man, is this a younger Janet Yellen?
And you want him to know that you're able to handle it, so it makes him feel good.
Checks out. Time period checks out. It looked a little like Sigourney Weaver in her wedding photo there. Right down Santa Claus Lane. This is our second Willie song, isn't it? Really, like I'm not gonna be able to get my fucking 14 cents from this. Oh man, Santa was cracking this motherfucker. That means Santa was coming through there telling dick jokes or something, because he was cracking that dude up. That dude only laughs at dick jokes. Nothing's gonna crack that dude up as much as a dick joke. You can look at him.
By the time Santa...
The man's world back then.
You would have thought Bob Hope had arrived.
I was gonna make that same fucking joke about Bob Hope.
Cheer from back home.
It might have been a racist joke. You might be right, Porg.
Merry Christmas, North.
So who?
ADP.
All right, what'd you get out of Santa's sack?
Is this wonderful or what?
I don't know, Mr. Balls. I'm pretty sure they were fucking each other back then. They might just not have been as open about talking about it. I'm pretty sure the Navy's always been gay.
That's probably the only guy that Hick can beat in their country.
Or at least gay when they're out on the water. What's their what's the there's a saying for people that are on like a ship for a long time.
Thank you, Linda.
I don't remember what it was.
To be optimistic, and gifts that got.
They gave the bald guy a giant comb.
I already had my boxers, so.
He got a trans coloring book.
It's not what you call a subtle hint, but.
He is totally transitioned now. He's been living as a woman for 15 years and he's never been happier, and he also looks hot.
Must be for you.
I was still working last week. I actually watched Prime Minister's Questions last week, but I wasn't able to broadcast it because I was still working. I had a bunch of videos uploading. I will do my best to have Prime Minister's Questions for you.
Red suit, or was it the big man in the green?
It's Monday night still.
Message of Christmas to all.
So it'll be Wednesday morning.
I feel like Karnak.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes.
We'll do the Karnak joke then, motherfucker.
Vixen, all his reindeers pulling on the rein.
Okay, this dude, that's a killer mustache. Apparently Tones is liking the Navy content. We're a Navy show from now on. Oh, I love this dude. I love this dude with the tinsel around his, or the garland around his neck. Oh, that baby is not happy. Are we getting ready for the ship's talent show or some shit? Yeah, we're a Navy channel now. We're just gonna be doing Navy news. That kid don't look happy.
The Kennedy Wives Club Christmas party wasn't really for the wives and families as much as it was for the sailors 5,000 miles away.
1, 2, 3.
The families got together by department and put a quick Christmas greeting on videotape. It would become the top-rated show on the Kennedy closed-circuit TV system.
What else they got? It's not like they're showing Friends.
Of course, no Christmas.
I don't know. I'm in the wrong time period. Not like they're showing Perfect Strangers, Three's Company. What was on at that time?
No, but he could help explain why Daddy was away.
Would my North Pole still be standing? No, because somebody...
Tony's father, Tony Sr., was among the Kennedy sailors to see a 3-second glimpse.
What up, Big Tony?
Hearing from the family is one way the cruise passes more quickly.
We send tapes. We send
the VTOL Patrol.
And I think that's what
Inch cares away. Worries for another day.
Jesus. Mess specialist Tim
Moore. He had to drop the Jesus in there on us.
Kids. His wife Ann helped out at the party. He and the other sailors left no doubt how the message hits them.
Poor guy should go as well. Like, I was going to end this show like 2 hours ago.
Seeing your wife, even if it is
We've just been bullshitting about the Navy.
Know that she's thinking about you back there.
I'm kind of hungry. I would like to chill out.
See her, you know, I know she's really there, and everything's okay. I see a smile on her face. It just makes me feel good, and makes me.
We're gonna go see Squid. If you are watching on Twitch, we are gonna go hang out with
a sailor has to have quick eyes to pick out his family, but he always can. Even though the younger members of the
he was able to pick out his family,
same as they did 4 months ago. Rick Kearns knows they won't be the same when he gets back.
Like when I left, my son Matthew.
So go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. We'll be here tomorrow night with the Georgia special election coverage. Raphael Warnock taking on the Republican challenger Herschel Walker.
Decorating their stateroom while
then on Wednesday morning we are going to do Prime Minister's questions and C-SPAN. Go ahead, light one up. Oh, I already said that, didn't I?
Wife and kids right now.
I'll do it again. Fuck it. Go ahead, light one up. Tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack.
Like most sailors,
I'm Justin Freakin. Peace out, bitches.
Why we should all care about the servicemen and women who make the sacrifice.
This isn't the best time of year to be away from home, but we really love America and all the people